Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're live, and thankfully the weather is good enough that we're able to make this happen. Peace, 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 Dr. Bass. Stay safe, focused, and balanced, and may all things go your way as always. Peace, peace, everyone. High vibrations, good vibes, and yeah, trying to maintain yourself coming back into this world. As the great Bobby Hemmett himself said, what was so great about coming back into this world? I mean, you got to pay light bills, you got to pay water bills, you got to freaking get the gas for food, you got to freaking put gas in the freaking car or diesel, whatever vehicle it is that you drive. Yeah, you got to go to freaking work, you got to pay taxes and all that stupid shit. I mean, this is the world that we're happy to come back to. I mean, seriously, Brandon, this is the fucking world where Christians be thanking their fucking God to be coming back to. Let me not even get into that. Peace, peace as always, everyone. Brandon, how's it going, King?
Oh yeah, it's going pretty good, pretty good. But like to be honest, like with them saying like, "Oh yeah, thank you for coming back, thank you for coming back." When you really think about it, why they don't say that when people leave this physical body. So at this point, that's why they're so attached to this physical world because that's why they keep coming back to this joint.
Like Brandon, hey yo, you on the freaking gold, the silver, the copper, the bronze. You're on every freaking precious metals that you could think of on that one. Forget the fiat currency. That's just some paper shit people like to give value to, which in reality, even the cracker himself knows has no fucking value because he could literally just print that shit into oblivion. And because he could do that, because there's a machine that literally prints this shit into oblivion, and you even see it in some monetary educational videos and whatnot. Why are there poor people on the streets? Why are there people who are literally financially better off than others? None of this makes any fucking sense. You can print all that freaking fiat currency into oblivion. You make people think this is real money, but there are still freaking poor people on the streets and whatnot. I mean, like, goodness gracious, this society, as the great Bobby Hemmett himself said, people want to be talking about, they want to use, but even you mentioned it when we spoke with one another recently, bro. People want to just use their occult sciences and whatnot to get themselves material wealth and gain, and that's fine. I mean, okay, we get it. We've come a long way. But then again, we've created great civilizations for what since the beginning, ever since we've been here. But like now you're telling me as we're reaching the end of this world cycle, you don't want to use those powers to instead bring an end to this world even faster and whatnot. I mean, like, yeah, we got to serve as the cosmic alarm clocks, the universal alarm clocks to wake up the few elect brethren who aren't fully awakened, and yeah, we just got to do what it is we got to do to do the work, leave it all behind. And yeah, this ain't about ego, this ain't about competition, this ain't about trying to get more fame and clout or recognition or anything like that. Forget that. We're way beyond that. We're way past that. Dr. Bass, just lay it out for the people as we definitely get into this one.
Oh yeah, so it's like, but like that manifestation thing, right? People keep using all their powers to manifest material possessions at a slow rate because we all know this realm is dang near slower than a total and a snail combined. Let's be honest with y'all. But they could use their powers to manifest the end of this realm and receive all their heart desires effortlessly. Because once you get away of this realm, it eliminates the electromagnetic field, and then that means the spiritual, because everything happens in the spiritual first and then the physical. So if you eliminate this realm, which is also the electromagnetic field between both realms, the spiritual realm will come down, and you know how you can manifest instantly spiritually. Well, guess what? The spiritual realm is gonna come down, and now we can manifest even quicker in this realm. So at this point, a lot of people just using their powers for material possessions, but when they really could just be using them to just destroy this realm, and then they'll receive everything that they really want. And then like being grateful in this realm is just like being trying to maintain like a high vibration at this point. There's only with these physical bodies, right? There's only a certain level you can reach because let's be honest, this physical realm can only reach a certain level of high frequency because if it keeps going up, then there won't be no physical realm because obviously it was continue to like transition into the spiritual. So at this point, there's only a certain level of like gratitude and being maintaining that high vibration that we can experience until something happens that try to lower our vibration at this point. So at this point, all you can do is just see it for what it is at this
I mean, definitely, bro. There's only so much that you can continue to, I guess, appreciate where this world is concerned. I mean, like, how is it that with all the knowledge that you continue to accumulate, with the amount of information that you continue to dive into, like just wanting to know more, and A, at least I will say this: be grateful for the information that you're receiving. That and but above all else, that you have the willingness to want to get into this new realm of information and knowledge and all that good stuff. Because, as the great Bobby Hemmett himself said, knowledge is a privilege. Eh? It's not everyone who comes into this realm who actually gets into this kind of knowledge. Which is why they always say, they would even say, uh many are called but few are chosen. I mean, really think about it. Many are called but only few truly are chosen to get this thing done. And broad is the road and wide is the path to destruction, and many are found thereof. And the gate to life is very narrow, or yeah, just paraphrasing and whatnot, but you get what it is I'm saying. It's just that people need to realize, being in this realm, it's like you have to look at it from the perspective of like a CJ or a Franklin or any one of these characters who are the main player in any Grand Theft Auto game that you play. I mean, they are the main protagonist. They are the main character of the story. Everyone else is either a support character who still has some important role, and then you have a bunch of background characters, like those who, I mean, they exist, I guess, but I mean to say they add literally nothing. I mean, you could have a freaking walk-in street lamp or a freaking rock like in SpongeBob. You could have replaced them with any one of these uh objects and whatnot. Just put eyes or even legs or arms on those objects, and you still essentially get the same story, because that's just how much these background characters really contribute virtually nothing to the story. You know what I mean? But it's just that, I mean to say, yeah, bro, you gotta be grateful for being into this, for sure, for sure, for sure, because occult, esoteric, spiritual knowledge, this is the kind of stuff that many don't even want to look in its direction, simply because the beast and their system has done such a good job from time you came through your mother's womb to ensure that you were literally conditioned and trained to be put in a position that you don't even want knowledge. It's just do everything that we tell you, be a good little slave, eat shit, work, sleep, repeat. Eat shit, work, sleep, repeat. Eat shit, work, sleep, repeat. Just run on that fucking hamster wheel like the little pog that you are, like the little freaking cog in the machine that you are. Like, I'm telling you, bro, it's very vicious. So appreciation within the context of being within the physical realm, but still having interest within this realm of information, knowledge, and just growing in wisdom, and like literally receiving the understanding, the understanding, the overstanding, all of the standings that you need to really stand firm upon. I mean, it's just really good stuff in that regard. But I mean, what the hell is so happy? What the hell is so great to come back in this freaking world? A rat came back into this world and it's about its business. A dog came back into this world and it's about its business. A cat, a snail, a slug, a turtle, a bird. I mean, these motherfuckers, you know how looking at these Discovery Channel documentaries over animals and whatnot, it's a vicious freaking world out there. I mean, like, yeah, having to watch lions and like all these other predators, having to hunt prey that are literally just minding their own business, but they have to literally always be on the lookout for some big predator, as a lion or a tiger or a wolf or any one of these other animals, just willing to freaking just mercilessly devour them and just tear them to pieces and whatnot. I mean, geez. And when you look at the different mythologies, even when you look at the Bible God, when you look at Yahweh, who really is nothing more than Yaldabaoth of Gnostic mythology and whatnot. I mean, religious people can't see that, but hey, the information is right there. I mean, there are so many books written over this, there are so many lectures done over this. I mean, it does not take two random individuals on YouTube to literally have to share this information in order for you to really grasp what it is we're saying. I mean, if we're doing the work and we're literally opening up a new avenue for you to really get into this stuff, hey, we're we're happy that we could help to make a rather favorable difference in your life, but that's still beside the point because we have our own work to do. We have our own selves to work on. Yeah, it's really not easy out here, bro, but yeah, just take it away, bro, and yeah, let's get into whatever notes that you would like to get into as we also look to share some videos as we've done before, bro. So take it away, Brandon.
Oh yeah, we definitely have our own stuff to work on. Like I feel like with this one specifically, it's all about like working on yourself and then also helping others. So that's kind of how this one is kind of like built on. But you definitely have to appreciate all the knowledge that you gain over the years because a lot of people just don't know this type of information, and that's where they can get stuck in that reincarnation cycle. But like for video games, you can literally do anything and go to your safe house, and then people will automatically forget, and then you can have like 5 stars and whatnot, but people just forget everything that you just done. So it's like you can see the difference between video games and this video game, even though it's a simulation and whatnot. But the first thing on the notes is heaven and hell being physical places.
Oh, now that is very interesting. And honestly, your true self, your definitely your higher universal mind is what deserves the credit on that one, bro, because ancient texts and ancient scriptures clearly show us that what you call heaven and what you call hell, because to begin with, big shout out to Nuwapu on YouTube, which is a channel on YouTube that I've watched several videos on regarding esoteric and spiritual knowledge and all that kind of stuff. The word heaven, if you literally see it for what it is, you know, like how you have a safe haven, for example, for domestic abuse. Like women could literally go to these haven places to literally, yeah, deal with, tackle and overcome instances of domestic abuse and whatnot. Haven, haven. But guess what? You add the word you add the letter E to it, heaven. It's still essentially the same thing, a place of refuge, a place where you could literally momentarily stop at and whatnot. So if you really stop and think about it, let's just get into what it was that let's just touch upon what we already spoke about in recent lives and whatnot, Brandon. So the Christian Bible tells us about, well, I guess based off of what pastors and preachers want to be spouting out of their mouths and whatnot. So heaven is supposed to be this place where you're supposed to, yeah, go when you've been good, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, and yeah, you get to praise God and sing glory to God's name and all that kind of stuff for eternity. But I ask myself the simple question: so wait, you're telling me ancient spiritual teachings teach us that this universe deals with cycles. This universe deals with like literally creation, preservation, and destruction. The three main phases of every cycle, of course. You've got the beginning of the circle, which is creation. You've got the middle of the circle, which is preservation. And then you get back all the way 360 degrees to the point of creation, but you reach the phase of destruction, meaning that cycle has finally come to an end and we get back to the point of, yeah, a new universe having to be born and whatnot. And think about it, universes are being created and destroyed as we speak every single time, even though like literally everything we see out there is literally just a projection, a hologram, which is only telling of everything that's going on within us. Because if you read the Vishnu, the story of Vishnu, the Hindu god of preservation, who Vishnu, who's one of his avatars, I guess you can, if you want to call it that, is Krishna, who is the Hindu Christ. But Vishnu, to show you Vishnu, there are several stories in the Hindu mythologies where Vishnu, even when he goes to sleep, he literally even creates realities. Just like Manayutsushai in Lord Dunsani's book, The Gods of Pegana, Manayutsushai, he is the main creator of this universe. But when he goes into a deep sleep, the realms literally form from his mind. When you go into the Mortal Kombat games, the one being, after the gods defeated him because he wanted to consume them, his different fragments of his mind formed the realms as we know them. Get into the original timeline of Mortal Kombat's mythology when they were still Midway, when Midway was still running things, and you'll see what it is that I'm talking about. Do your research. Learn to do your own research. We encourage everyone to do their own research so that even if we're proven wrong, hey, good, at least you can prove us wrong. You know what I mean? We don't need you to follow us or anything like that. But even when you get into there's another mythology, H.P. Lovecraft. When you get into H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos, Cthulhu and all the great old ones are actually fast asleep. But you need not look further than John Carpenter's 1995 movie, which is based off of H.P. Lovecraft's works, In the Mouth of Madness. If you watch that movie, you're going to see just how what we call reality is actually just, I would say we have to call it one of three things, bro. A clay-ality, the mold-ality, or the fakeum. They want to call it a realm. Well, I call it a freaking fakeum because this shit is always fucking changing. But then again, the Hindus already call it the Maya, meaning it appears one way on the surface, but behind the veil, it's something completely different. And energy itself is always on the move. It's always vibrating. I kid you not, bro. I watched an episode of True Blood, an HBO show about vampires from 2008 to 2014. Bro, as you reach a point in season 5 where two of the main characters have to go to fairies to get their help, bro, I kid you not, the fairies literally drop simple science on them. Simple science, where they explain how matter is nothing more than stagnant energy. You and I have joked about it several times, but look at the SpongeBob SquarePants universe. SpongeBob is able to drive a freaking rock. Patrick won a snail race with a freaking rock. Rocks in and of themselves are living things. The only difference is because the vibration of the atoms and all the different molecules and matter is moving so slowly, the rocks appear to not be living, but they are actually living, which could definitely also be the reason why dolls like Chucky are able to be possessed and whatnot, simply because when they are possessed by a soul or a spirit, they are able to make the matter of that doll move even faster because of the soul and the spirit. This is the simple knowledge and science. But like what Stevie Wonder said, when you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. So, like people want to get into superstitions, thinking that, oh, if you do this, then this is going to happen, or if you try that, then that is going to happen, not knowing that literally they are fooling themselves, getting into something that they themselves they can't even begin to explain to you the details of why A leads to B or why B leads to C, and so on and so forth. But going back to what it was that we were saying, so y'all religious people want to be saying about heaven and hell is uh, a place. No, hell is a place beneath the earth, and heaven is a place that is in the sky. But last I checked, I thought your very same Bible, which was really nothing more than a consortium, a compilation of ancient scriptures taken from various different spiritual sources from all throughout the ancient world. Heaven is a state of mind. And guess what? You can experience both heaven and hell in this freaking realm simultaneously, because the law of polarity could never and would never allow you to suffer for all of eternity. If that were the case, then universal law would be completely obsolete. So you mean to tell me universal law exists, but then you suffer for all eternity because of a bullshit God who's literally psychopathic, narcissistic, egotistical, and literally just probably one of the worst fucking motherfuckers that you could ever. I honestly would not mind running into one of them aliens from Men in Black, from one of the Men in Black movies, than to run into the fucking God of the Old Testament. I shit you not, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Yo, one of them aliens, at least they're straightforward with me, and they would show me what the deal is. You check? But this God, literally with his egotistical monkey ass self, want to be telling me about, oh, you alone are God and there's no God before you. But bitch, why the fuck would you tell me that? You just acknowledge the existence of other gods. And then when you talk about hell, once again, the law of polarity and rhythm would never allow you to suffer for eternity. Because even here on earth, when you suffer bad times, you have to go through good times that are equivalent, that are a balance to those bad times, and so on and so forth. Hell is literally a state of mind as well. And plus, how on earth could you possibly feel pain if you don't even have a brain or a physical body to contain that brain? Because even science itself, basic science, shows you that there's a particular part of the brain that is responsible for you feeling pain to begin with. Because if that part of the brain were to be completely removed, then guess what? You can't feel pain. And suffering only exists because pain is a phenomena that you experience in this fucking realm. And if you go back to the Cthulhu mythos, the Mortal Kombat mythos with the one being, Manayutsushai in your Lord Dunsani's Gods of Pagan book, as well as there's another one. But basically, when you get into those sources, with Vishnu in Hindu mythology as well, all of these are the same story, but different sources are giving different details. But the overarching message is the same thing. These great, powerful beings fell into a deep sleep, and the physical realm came into existence. Should our true selves ever awaken, just like Sutter Kane in The Mouth of Madness, John Carpenter's 1995 movie, as aforementioned, you could literally tear this freaking physical world apart. And even Bobby Hemmett explained it through his own research and his knowledge within his lectures. If the Christ energy had to truly manifest as it truly is in this physical realm, the entire physical realm would cease to exist. Bro, I'm telling you, like, this is such good stuff, right? How could you subscribe to a fucking God that won't even allow you to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil? So you're telling me I exist, but I can't grow within knowledge? I can't have any knowledge of what good and evil is? So I literally just exist as a drooling fucking idiot? Just like, yeah, you get what it is I'm saying, Brandon? I mean, like, goodness gracious, I have to know. And because I grow in knowledge, I cannot look at this world or anything pertaining to this world the same anymore. The Krakow system is fallen, but he's just like that freaking dog in that meme where he's in the kitchen saying everything is fine, but the freaking kitchen is ablaze in flames. I mean, Brandon. I mean, like these people are absolutely fucking sick. But then again, if you know that these humans only represent our lowest ego animal self, which is exactly why you have to balance your melanin centers, aka the so-called chakras. You have to. Oh, and by the way, melanated people by default, thanks to Dr. Layla Africa, have several chakra systems. I think up to 12 default chakra systems. Whereas the 7 that you normally see are Asians and those people. Guess what? They don't even freaking like us and whatnot. But either way, it doesn't matter whether they like us or whatnot, because they're still using our sciences to keep our knowledge alive, so that whenever we do come across this information, we can literally wake back up to that which we truly are and finally put an end to this bullshit physical realm forever. And if pain does not exist when you are a purely energy spiritual being, then what the hell is this suffering for eternity nonsense? So let me get this straight. Hell is a physical place that you go to in a physical body. So you're essentially the equivalent of Wolverine from Marvel Comics with a healing factor, having to suffer pain. Because remember, Wolverine, he can heal very quickly, but he can still feel pain. So that means you're like Wolverine with the healing factor, having to suffer pain in a physical body for all eternity. And just like, bro, please explain to the people the part where you had so perfectly explained going to heaven with their God for all eternity, with the people who essentially you remember what it is I'm saying. You get into it,
Uh,
brother. You explain.
yeah. Definitely for like heaven and hell are just pretty much just coming back to this of it's like temporary physical places that you stop at, which is this realm as well. And it's just straight up reincarnation, and that's why they always depict both places as being physical places. Like, oh yeah, heaven is like the gates of heaven, and then the golden staircase and all that other stuff. And then they depict hell as being like, oh, this fiery place and all this other BS and whatnot. But like suffering for suffering for eternity doesn't even make sense, because if we leave our physical bodies and become by dying, we leave our physical bodies, but we only feel pain through our physical bodies. So at this point, when we
And the brain, remember the
oh
brain is responsible. The brain is responsible for this physical realm even being a thing. This physical realm would not even be a thing if it wasn't for these bullshit brains, which is exactly why, not to cut you off, bro, in ancient Egypt, they would keep the heart in the body, even though the heart, much like what real Merkaba said, the heart is an organ just like every other freaking organ. But the ancient Kamites purposefully left it there as symbology for you to make sure that you remember that the heart is all that really matters. The mind is just a tool that you use to create the reality that you need. The brain is the hardware, the computer, but the software is the mind, and you're not even using the full totality of the mind, having to deal with this animal fucking level of humanity within this realm, which is exactly why the occultists, ancient spiritual teachers always teach you that humanity is the enemy, because humanity is a freaking two-legged animal that only cares about its survival within this freaking realm. Please continue, bro.
oh yeah, straight up, because like we definitely have to be our hearts has to be lighter than a feather, but like the brain and the mind, it's all programs and illusions. That's why they always try to attack all melanin centers and just like try to distract us with all this other like nonsensical like stuff and whatnot. But like non-existent beings don't feel pain. We don't even use our senses in the higher spiritual plane. So at this point, pain was created in this realm. So if you go into a place that you're going to experience suffering, that means you're just gonna come back down here in this physical world, because it's all just reincarnation at this point. So it's so important to just stay in the now, and all they have to do is just put out knowledge in the simple way. And it's like at this point, it's like truth for dummies for everyone to resonate with it, to be honest. Yeah, definitely. But I think the next one was how the universe. Oh yeah, how universal laws won't be laws in all other realms as well. Okay, hold on real fast. Let me just see if he comes back. Hold on.
Freaking amazing, right? But yeah, you on, bro?
Oh yeah, I think it cut out for a little bit.
Oh, well, yeah, they're not going to stop this one either way. But I mean, I was just saying, yeah, I'm very grateful to True Self, our true being, our true highest spiritual being, for allowing us to yeah, get here so that we could make this knowledge known to the masses, bro. Because like what the great Bobby Hemmett said, new information is dangerous to virgin ears. Well, you know what? Just like a penis going into a vagina, we gotta ram that fucker in there so that we could show y'all, hey, this is what you're getting into. It doesn't matter what you feel about it. This is the kind of information that you should be getting into, because you gotta realize that you live in a fucked up universe with a lot of beings out there who in no way, shape, form, or fashion have your best interest at heart. But you do also have beings who do want to see you flourish and do well. And thankfully, Brandon and I are among those few beings without a doubt. Because hey, like you said, Brandon, how long? I mean, when was the last time that YouTube paid you for any of your videos or anything like that? I mean, I even have a YouTube channel where I just shared some stuff during the COVID period, and those motherfuckers have taken down several of those videos. Like, I just don't give a shit anymore. Fuck YouTube. It's a piece of shit. It's rubbish, and it definitely deserves to go down. May new alternative platforms come up so that yeah, YouTube could finally go out of business. Like, fuck YouTube for real. But I mean to say, bro, new information, you should be getting into new information, because for you to be getting into the same old bullshit information over and over and over, it's just masturbatory. It's just freaking feeding your ego. Like, what growth are you possibly going through listening to the same bullshit over and over and over again? Now you could see the fucking dilemma religious people be going through, and they think that everything is okay. No, it's not okay, motherfucker, because you're still listening to the same garbage that you've been listening to since you were in freaking kindergarten and play school. I mean, goodness gracious. Like, but then again, if you remember Primordial Waters, Practical Matter, you should know for a fact that religion, as we know it, specifically Judaism, well, Judaism, as we already said, Judaism, much like Catholicism, definitely have those deeper esoteric practices and meanings behind their practices that if you really get into it, you will see why those two religions definitely have some stuff that you can get into. And like what Bobby Hemmett said, every religion has its esoteric side. But what they keep sharing with you on a daily basis is the exoteric, the public stuff that they want you to freaking continue to get into, like kindergarteners and play schoolers. But really, these religions on the surface level are play school, kindergarten level spiritual places, if you will. But I mean to say, bro, people really need to get into true spirituality, where you could literally get into the practice of cultivating and elevating yourself, evolving beyond the human level, because humanity ain't gonna do anything but to keep you in the goddamn ego and to have you wanting to continue to want to see this world keep going and going, when really it's all a delay and this world has to be freaking destroyed. As we mentioned before, even their Christian Bible said heaven and earth will pass away. So if heaven and earth are going to pass away, what's the only thing that's going to remain? You yourself, because this isn't life. Even Alvid Boyd Kuhn in his book, The Lost Light, when you get into the esoteric teachings of what the ancients were really telling us, Bobby Hemmett himself mentioned it. This realm that we're in is death. Death only exists in this realm. And I don't know if you recall the video Dr. Mumbi shared, I think it was months ago, bro. It was months ago, where she mentioned you go into the higher realms. Death doesn't even exist in the higher realms. It's nothing but pure life. So how could you call this experience that we're having, this simulation, this video game type of experience we're having, life? I mean, either way, bro, I pass it back on to you. And yeah, we could also get into whatever other notes that yeah, we could get into.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, don't even get me started about the people who call this joint life at this point, because that, like, for real, like,
I mean,
yeah,
it's a joke. It's a joke at this point, bro. It's a freaking joke at this point.
or if you think this is paradise, then you're not really using your true imagination to like the highest extent, because yeah, yeah, for real. But there's so many delays in this one and whatnot. But a lot of people just listen to the same BS, will continue to experience the same BS, because it's all just belief systems and that narrative that they programmed you to believe in. So now that you believe in that, now it's attached to it. And then people say that they're spiritual, but in their eyes that means not going to church, but they still, even though they might not go to church, they still believe in that same Christian God as well. So it's really just, you gotta see people for who they are. And then they continue to think esoteric knowledge and the occult is evil. Like these celebrities and beasts only use it at the low levels, and they gained all this wealth and whatnot. So just imagine what we could do if we really tapped into the highest amount of that knowledge as well. And then like with these social media platforms, they even to this day they still take down like all this old stuff that we used to put out like back in like 2019, 2020. It's like crazy at this point. And then the last two things on the notes was the how universal laws won't be laws in all the other realms, pretty much.
Okay, universal law. Ah, yes, universal law, and that stuff. Essentially, think about it. If you really get into, I'm probably gonna have to share the video. I'm probably gonna have to share the video again because Brother Panic, he got into it. He yeah, he got into it and made it so clear. Like, if you really stop and think about it. Okay, so we created we created the universe, essentially. Yeah, we are creators, we are universal beings, multidimensional spiritual beings at that. So we created all these universal laws so that, yeah, we could get into the simulation and, yeah, experience this physical realm. Okay, that's basically still just level one stuff. Like, we're not even really getting into the deep esoteric spiritual stuff. And honestly, you're welcome to go and look for spiritual teachers and whatnot who definitely do a better job of explaining this stuff better than me and Brandon ever could. But essentially, universal law. You have the seven. Bro, do you have a list of the seven universal laws with you right now, or?
Let me pull up real quick.
Yeah, if you could just run down the seven principal universal laws so that, yeah, people get a good comprehension of what it is that we're talking about. So yeah, people aren't led astray or anything along those lines, because universal law is always what comes into play. And because we're in a dense lower level 3D realm, universal law always manifests itself at a lower level. But if you were to go into higher realms, then it manifests itself at a higher level.
Oh
So yeah,
yeah.
let me know when you get into the list, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying okay. I'm trying to see like the notes that I took down, but some of it was like gender, then polarity, rhythm, relativeness, cause and effect, traction.
Well, essentially, yeah. The law of the law of the law of the mental. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it, because I'm supposed to have it here somewhere. In my images section. It's supposed to be right there in my images section. So yes, I have it. I have it. Bam. Law number one, the principle of mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is mental. Source is mental, correct? Source is spiritual, correct? And the mental is just a product of the spiritual. So if the mind is the software, if the mind is a software, that the program, the actual program that allows you to create whatever it is that you desire, if a hacker were to hijack that, guess what? Could force you to create reality as they want you to create it for themselves, not for your own good, but for their own good. But that's just an example of it. The law of mentalism. Two, the law of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. Whatever is going on in the higher realms or even in the lower realms has to correspond with the opposite realm, which in and of itself is the law of polarity in and of itself, but good stuff. The law of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Plain and simple. Nothing rests. Even rocks are alive. SpongeBob SquarePants is an example of that. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. But guess what? It's all still the same. Hate. Hate is a lower vibrational form of love. Cowardice is a lower form of bravery. Because think about it. If you're a coward, you would never know that you were a coward unless you were in the situation that made you scared to begin with, or past experiences or anything like that. And that's just an example of it. The principle of rhythm, the pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. You have a really good time. You have a really good time, a really, really good time. Guess what? The law of rhythm will make sure that the bad time that you have is the equivalent to the good time that you have. Yeah. And remember, because even though a bad time may not last a very long time, it's the impact. It's just the effect that it has on your mind that makes it look so bad. But in reality, the bad time that you have is simply on the same equal playing field as the good times that you have. The law, the principle of cause and effect. Everything has its cause and effect. Every effect has its cause. This is what people like to mistaken pertaining to karma. Well, guess what? The cracker, who we know is one of the worst, if not the worst fucking thing in this world. Why the hell is he still around if karma is real? Brother Panic will definitely explain it to y'all when we get into it. But bro, this is stuff that people need to comprehend. There is no such thing as karma as they've been fucking telling us. It's just cause and effect. If karma were to be real, then we are karma incarnate in this motherfucker. But let's keep it moving. And 7, the principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. Here you have patriarchal society talking about, oh, women this and women that. It's a man's world. I think it was James Brown who sang that song. It's a man's world. But you still can't live it without a woman. Or I think it was James Brown. But either way, bro, it just goes to show you the feminine principle. She is the principle that is responsible for actual creation. You need not look further than the best example Bobby Hemmett gave on a car battery. The positive polarity is the polarity that simply jumpstarts the process, whereas the negative polarity, the feminine polarity, is literally the process. Once she activates, she gets into the creation. The energy generates so that the car battery can literally make the energy flow throughout the rest of the car and all that stuff. So yeah, but even amongst humans, as a heterosexual male, you could just be walking, having a good time in your own quiet space, minding your own business. Good looking woman passes by, your dick goes erect. I mean, that just goes to show you, bro, the feminine polarity. She is magnetism. She is the polarity of creation. Don't let these dumb motherfuckers fool you. The feminine polarity is definitely the one who does the heavy lifting. The masculine polarity exists as an anchor so that she could more easily have that, like an anchor to a ship, where she has a stability to her power and whatnot. But there are teachers and researchers who definitely do a better job of getting into it than we can. So either way, bro, yeah, I don't know how many more notes you have left, because I would like to get into the videos, but either way, we're making this happen, my brother. Yeah, people just need to really get into this kind of stuff and really you got to move beyond the exoteric stuff and really get into the esoteric stuff so that you could raise yourself on high, because bro, it is not easy coming back into this fucking world, having to experience eat, shit, work, sleep, repeat in a hamster wheel cycle all over again. Fuck that. We got to move beyond that. Take it away, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, that's why they say haters will be your biggest supporters, as above, so below. And then once you awaken, you can see it. And then, for like vibration, it's all the yeah, like how you put it with all of them. Like you just have to question what's really relevant in other realms compared to this realm as well, because all the universal laws doesn't really add up if you look at it from the viewpoint of another realm as well. And then just the last one was we already sold our soul and sacrificed our true selves by coming down into this physical realm. Now we're just working on trying to get it back, just like in the soul
I
movie and one.
put on the video for this one. You know, serious business right here, Dr. Bass. You know what it is. Hey, yo, gotta put on the video for this one. But brothers and sisters, I wish y'all nothing but the very best in your spiritual journey. Oh, by the way, Brandon, he's very shy about it, but I gotta say, Brandon is on his way to becoming the demiurge of the new realm that is to come after this one, because of course, as we know, the old has to be destroyed in order for the new to even set its foundation. So Brandon is working his way to become the demiurge of the other realm, bro. It doesn't matter whether you want it or not. You're gonna fucking fulfill it. Whether you want to continue to do it for a long time, hey, that's entirely up to you. We are titans. We are great, powerful chaos beings. We can do whatever the fuck we want to do. But yeah, I wish you the very best in conquering the new physical realm that is to come. And yeah, humanity is on its way out. The way I see it, humanity has to go extinct as a species in order for us to truly experience something greater. Because, hey, ancient texts and scriptures, they already saw the ending of this cycle, right? Meaning the end of this fucking world with all the natural disasters and whatnot that's happening. Hey, rejoice, be happy. You should want this shit to fucking happen. You should want this shit to continue to manifest at a higher level and far more frequently, because this world, like we already explained, it maybe in the very beginning it used to be the shit, but now it's just shit. What's so great about coming back to this fucking world, having to wake up, so called, come back to this fucking physical body, having to experience death slowly? I mean, what's so cool about that? But I mean to say, yeah, bro, I had to put on the camera for this motherfucker. But either way, so, yeah, brothers and sisters, you already sold your souls. How could we possibly sell our soul if ancient texts and scriptures teach us that the soul is this unreachable, untouchable, eternal, undying, immortal thing? Yes, you are absolutely 100% on the gold and every other precious metal. For real. Fuck the currency, because we know they can print that shit into oblivion, so you know what it is. But if you really think about it, even Alvin Boyd Kuhn, big shout out to Bobby Hemmett. Get his book, The Lost Light, or you could get all of his esoteric books. But think about it. Even when you watch a show like True Blood, bro, like if you really think about it, right? The higher you go into the realms, and that's just the realms, because even Brother Panic himself perfectly explained. Ask yourself the question: if I'm a Titan, if I'm a great powerful being, I created this universe along with my brethren them just for a simulation video game experience or whatever. 0.5 fucking video game experience. Like angry video game nerd played video games that are better than this fucking experience. Fuck this experience. Ain't shit. It definitely deteriorated into something ugly, and you know it better than me, my brother. But I mean to say, so we created this universe and whatever. So ask yourself the question: if we had to come to this physical realm, what is it that we had to give up in order for us to experience this physical realm? Oh, just about the highest parts of our true being, our true, our true, powerful, limitless, awesome selves. Yeah, think about it. These rappers and celebrities and all these people out here in the mainstream system want to talk about selling your soul. Bitch, we already, us multidimensional spiritual beings having these temporary human experiences, we already fucking sold our souls. Even Alvin Boyd Kuhn in his book The Lost Light explained where physical body, the physical body is what we had to get into in order for the soul to remember the Cthulhu mythos, remember the Vishnu mythos in Hinduism, remember the one being, remember another one, Manayut Sushai in Lord Dunsani's book The Gods of Pegana. The great ones had to fall asleep. Fall asleep in what? Matter. Matter, which is what, according to True Blood, slow moving energy. Your soul got entombed in a physical body which is why you're not operating at the full capacity of that which you truly are, just to experience this physical realm. There we go, plain and simple. Brothers and sisters, you already sold your souls out, agreeing to come to this fucking realm. So why do you think it's such a drag, especially as a multidimensional spiritual being who is growing in this occult knowledge, who is growing in this spiritual knowledge? It's not fucking easy. Having to literally do the work just so that you could try to get closer to your true self. But hey, as we were already told, we thank goodness that this is not our actual selves experiencing this. Even when you get into the 42 laws of Mayat, the 42 laws of Mayat, guess what? Those laws were simply in conjunction with the soul itself. Guess what? All of those 42 laws, that was specifically for the true being. You never did any of that stuff. The ego might have done that, but guess what? The ego literally only exists within this freaking illusionary Maya realm. Your true self never went through any of this. The true you, even Bruce Lee himself, big shout out to Bobby Hemmett. Bruce Lee repeated the same thing that Jiddu Krishnamurti, who quoted the saying, badass saying, it is no measure of wealth, or no, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Straight up. Jiddu Krishnamurti said, I long for the day when I awaken from this dream. This is a fucking dream. Cthulhu and the great old ones are dreaming. It's time for the great old ones to wake up out of this fucking sleep and tear this physical realm apart. Y'all should stop being so attached to this damn physical realm. Instead, use your spiritual powers to literally manifest and bring forth the end of this fucking realm, because a new realm has to take place. And Brandon is the fucking demiurge of that realm. I don't care what he has to say. So, bro, we already sold our fucking souls, agreeing to come back to this fucking physical body. But rejoice, brethren, because you don't have to fucking come back to this physical body. Yeah, that thing that people don't like to talk about, suicide. Yeah, guess what? There are certain instances and situations you find yourself in. Think about it. Who better to show you that death is what you should embrace than suicide itself? Think about it. If you have no problem destroying your physical body, people want to say, oh, he took his life. She took her life. No, dumb motherfuckers. They didn't take their life. Life is ever going. Life forever is. You get what it is I'm saying, Brandon? Life just is. Just because you're no longer experiencing quote unquote life within this physical body, that's actually a good thing, because you're no longer in the prison. You're no longer in the tomb. You took yourself out. And if you can do that, then death in and of itself doesn't mean a damn thing to you, because you realize that you are beyond this physical body. You are not this physical body. You're just having a fucking dream. The hero's journey, the Kabbalah. What do you think the Kabbalah is all about? You start at the bottom, you make your way through the different points, and then you make it back to the highest level. You're beyond this realm. You don't have to experience any of this anymore. Brandon, this is some deep stuff that I urge everyone who comes across this live to really get into the knowledge and whatnot. You can get books on Kabbalah. You can get Adam Leeming's book, the mythology, Voyage of the Hero, as well as myths. He has 2 books on myths. So yeah, definitely get into those. Alvin Boyd Kuhn's book, The Lost Light, Lord Dunsani's book, The Gods of Pagana, all of H.P. Lovecraft's stories, because H.P. Lovecraft's stories are also a good foundation for these horror movies and whatnot. But actually what they were talking about was your true self, your true being. The Necronomicon as well, which is a book within H.P. Lovecraft's mythos, explaining how your true self has to awaken in order for this physical realm to no longer even exist, period. As well as Aleister Crowley, because Aleister Crowley, there is a good book, Peter Levenda's book, Typhonian something, Peter Levenda, Typhonian something. But in that book, he explains the parallels between H.P. Lovecraft and H.P. Lovecraft and Aleister Crowley. But good stuff, my brother, good stuff. Please get into these books. Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, they definitely have shared these books numerous times over. Yeah, bro, I pass it back on to you. Yeah, what much more can I freaking say, bro? People just have to do the work. You need to realize this is just a freaking dream. Even Mortal Kombat, they show you that. Should the one being come back into full power, as it was, as the original timelines mythos had expanded, then all of the realms will simply cease to exist. Bro, take it away. And yeah, I don't know if you have any more notes left, but either way, bro, we're definitely letting True Self share it all.
Oh yeah, you and your true selves be killing that joint right there. I don't even know
We
if
just
I can
doing what we
say
gotta
it.
do, bro. We gotta do what we gotta do, bro.
Yeah, facts. Like, and like for the Demiurge, yeah, I definitely take that with honor. I definitely appreciate you, my guy. And we store, we balance, and we organize everything. Definitely like
Oh, by the
clean up
way,
this.
bro, I have to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, continue.
Oh yeah, just like clean up this whole realm.
Yeah, we're like while we're on that topic, Kali. When you look at Kali in Hindu mythology, Kali, she represents nothing more than the great divine feminine being in her true full totality of her power and literally destroying everything that has to do with the physical realm, i.e., the human body. But guess what? Chucky, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Leatherface. Who else? The lead Cenobite from the Hellraiser movies, bro. These are all Alien and Predator. These are all modern day reimaginings of that very same ancient concept. Everything that you think is dear really isn't dear to you. It's all Maya. It's just an illusion. None of this is real. You're dreaming all of this out. Indeed, for Chucky and bro, I respect Chucky and all these other fucking characters than these goddamn pastors and preachers and whatnot. You wanna know why? Because these pastors and preachers keep you in the freaking prison of the lower animal mind, of the ego and whatnot. Just like Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth really represents nothing more than the ego and the physical realm and all that shit. But bro, Chucky and these motherfuckers, they do you a big favor because they destroy your physical body, as in you no longer have to be within the tomb of this physical body and all that stuff. So how is it that fictional characters who represent a concept that the ancients already knew, you have to die to the physical world in order to be reborn and relive once again, live once again within your true being, the Cthulhu mythos and all of that good stuff. Bro, I'm telling you, people need to get out of spiritual kindergarten and start to get into the PhD level of this stuff because this physical realm has to die in order for the new world to take place. Well, but for me personally, I look to experience true existence within my own being. We don't even need to experience the realms for real because the realms are just all part of this freaking elevator type of experience we go through in this if you want to call it a universe or whatever, you know what I mean? But bro, we're so totally beyond that. I just needed to put that there, bro, because people need to freaking know.
Oh yeah, that's three facts. It really is an elevator at this point, or just like a stairs at this point. Because when you see online and all these memes and whatnot about the ladder of success and climbing the ladder of success and all that other stuff, it's all just levels at this point. But it really is just an illusionary prison cell at this point. But may the goon squad start taking these people out. To be honest with you,
Indeed, that's the
because
freaking goon squad. Goon squad need to start taking motherfuckers out, bro. Because as Isis Wisdom as well as Dolores Cannon have mentioned already, there are a lot of beings in this physical realm right now who have no business of being here. You need not look further than you could even say 6,000 years ago. There weren't that much humans in this fucking realm. There weren't that much, yeah, there really weren't that much beings having a human experience in this motherfucker. It's oversaturated right now, man. A lot of motherfuckers need to leave. They need to fucking leave. And before anyone wants to say anything, hey, this is exactly what the ancients all saw. This is what they because remember, the future is not a set in stone thing. You see, once you tap into higher frequencies and higher realms, you can see different outcomes. You can see multiple different realities and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, this is the one that, yeah, we have seen, at least in terms of where these two physical eyes are concerned. But once all of your spiritual eyes, much like Shub-Niggurath, who is a grandmother to Cthulhu within the H.P. Lovecraft mythos, once all of your spiritual eyes are open, you start to see everything for what it is. Bro, I'm telling you, a lot of these beings here having a human experience need to fucking go. Sure, I may not have. Guess what? And before you say anything about, who are you to say, yeah, wish death for people and whatnot, motherfucker, I don't even want to be in this fucking physical realm right now. Like what Tupac himself said in his song, "Only God Can Judge Me." Hey man, the only thing I'm really afraid of is having to reincarnate, come back in this bitch. Tupac literally said that. So you already know Tupac was already deep into that esoteric spiritual stuff. Because bro, I'm telling you, like with Bob Marley as well. Bob Marley was also a Christ figure of his time. Bro, the brethren left these messages for us. It's up to us to decode everything that they left behind for us. And it's about time that we literally take the necessary steps to evolve ourselves, elevate ourselves, push ourselves forward. It's a marathon, not a race. We gotta just keep running that good track. We gotta keep running the track because the finish line is so close. Oh, it's ever so close. We just gotta be faithful and loyal to ourselves, my brother. Plain and simple. Continue, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely big facts right there because it's just better to have a quick death than just like a long painful death. It's just like old age. It's like once you fulfill everything that you need to fulfill, like what's really the point of living a longer life? Because you're just gonna keep experiencing pain and suffering.
Kobe. Kobe,
Yeah,
Kobe,
so
Kobe, literally, Kobe would have to be the one individual, if he's still in the spiritual realms out there, that's one individual you could literally try to channel in a seance. Kobe Bryant, Kobe, we're here to speak to you, brother. How's it on the other side? You know what I mean? Kobe, he lived his life, he did what he had to do, he accomplished so much already, and he literally went out with a bang. I mean, yeah, I mean, as messed up as it is, bro. Kobe literally, and plus, he literally got cremated right there on the spot. So literally, I don't see what would allow him to still have a connection with the physical realm. Because we already went into brother Yosef's video not long ago about how cremation is better than a fucking burial, especially since a lot of these burials, they don't perform the necessary rituals in order for beings to be separated and move on from this physical realm. And like, yeah, I mean, it's some deep stuff. You're welcome to check it out, brother Yosef. You could go on his YouTube channel and simply type in YouTube cremation versus burial. His video's bound to pop up, so you're welcome on that. Like, do learn to do your research. But I mean to say, you could even look at the simple stuff like, yeah, cremation is a lot cheaper than a fucking funeral and all that kind of stuff. For me, my brother, Kobe serves as a good example to me. Fuck a long life. I don't want to experience old age and whatnot. I just want to experience what I can experience within a very short period of time. After that, fuck that. I'm out of this bitch. For real, for real.
yeah. What's the first video you wanna watch?
Yeah, you could go into yeah, we're not gonna look at the whole video, but real Merkaba, the voodoo rundown, I think it is. Yeah. Because it's about time people got back into their spiritual sciences and whatnot, my brother. Straight up. Straight up. And even when we have to as you're getting into the video, bro, it's something very important people have to freaking realize. Death is the ultimate frontier, it's the ultimate plateau. The God of your Bible, the God of your King James Bible, literally said he's the God of the so-called living, not the God of the dead. But you could also interpret it from the standpoint of God being your true self, which is immortal, eternal, undying, and all that stuff. So he is not the God of the physical realm. He is the God of the spiritual realm in that sense. But if you're talking about Yahweh, Yaldabaoth, that bitch is the God of the temporary physical realm. Straight up. And because it's Yahweh, Yaldabaoth that we're talking about, these Christians are literally worshiping a God that represents a low aspect of their overall being who does not even look in their direction the moment they're on their so-called deathbed. Wow. Bro, I'm telling you, Christianity and these religions, when you really start to get into the deep, but then again, when you do know that Christianity and all these other religions were taken directly from ancient Egyptian teachings. It's just they got corrupted and deteriorated so much to the point where it hardly resembles anything that the ancients originally taught. And yeah, when you really start to see it for the mind control psyop uh program that it really is, then hey, bro, ain't no freaking way that this shit could fool you anymore. But either way, my brother, yeah, any last words before we get into the video?
Oh yeah, I think just people are just scared to die, and then that's why they just keep putting people in fear. But yeah, let's move
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm. And just a disclaimer, I don't condone suicide, but as we know, there are certain situations people fall into within this physical realm. Bro, honestly, don't be afraid to fucking take yourself out. After all, you're not even yes, literally take yourself out. That makes more sense than take his life or take her life. Motherfucker, you destroyed your physical body. Life is ever going. All you did was destroy the tomb that ensnared and entrapped your true being. Straight up. But either way, skip to you could say let's just get into the 3 minute mark. Yeah, skip to the 3 minute mark, and yeah, we're just gonna watch a few minutes of what Merc is going into. Feel free to watch Merc's channel because he has a lot of good stuff on it. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, King Bass.
You guys should invest in, and you probably already invested in them, but a lot of people have no clue about some of these stocks. But if you're paying attention to the market and what AI is doing and expansive AI is doing, it's doing so much. It's changing the game on a fast level. And with programs, what OpenAI is doing is amazing. Google, Microsoft is putting a lot of money up. Um, you have just so much going on, and what this stuff is able to do is ridiculous. It's crazy. So when you guys pay attention to what's coming up, we're going to get into it a lot more in upcoming videos as far as the new stuff that's coming out. I'm a big tech head, as you guys know, but I've been keeping up with a lot of this stuff, and it's just mind-boggling the level of sophistication, or should I say intelligence, that these AI programs are basically putting out. If you guys are using Chat GPT, you understand what I'm talking about. This program is free, and they have a paid version that's better. It's worth it. But I mean, it's basically like talking to a person.
Bro, skip a little, just a little further, so that yeah, just skip a little further so that we actually get into the meat and potatoes of the video.
We're not even getting emails. Like
Hi, I'm JT, and I made Result
Was
Hunter,
an
the
ad
search engine for
bubble right
conservatives.
there.
Let me just tell you what it does. First of all,
it's ridiculous. So I'm working on this. This is why I'm trying to do my whole platform. I'm trying to do everything on Merkle Academy, but it's a lot of you. So yeah, for the people who ask about stock market and who are really into this shit, the video's for you. But also for my history people, my history buffs, and people that's into the history and the knowledge of all this stuff, this video is also for you, because we get into that as well, because it must be
Yeah, let me
understood for you to
go to
understand
like
what's happening today.
maybe like
It's a
7
big
or
deal. So our own
Yeah,
technical,
something like that, or six.
and they
Try
can
six.
register if you're not already
something.
registered. Just like it makes it a lot easier. So you don't have to email us
Funny because I don't remember. I initially don't remember it having started at a later point in the video, but either way.
shit. You understand? So I gotta wait for YouTube to let everybody know. And really, the people that I want to talk to is the people that's on Merkle Academy. Because if you are a member,
I
if
think
you
he's
never
just
pay
talking
again
about the
member, or
membership
just
and
regular
stuff. Let me go
going
to
on,
10.
a lot coming up. And like I said, I'm here to stay. It's going to be non-stop new videos, non-stop stuff coming from
Okay,
me.
let me go to
And
12.
again, I'm ending off a lot.
Okay,
Persians and the Greeks and everything like that. When Egypt still was being ruled by the Egyptians,
There we go.
what was the rest of Africa doing? And this is the thing, a lot of people don't think about that. We always talk about Kemet, ancient Kemet, but we never get into what exactly the rest of Africa was doing. I mean, Africa is a huge continent. So the rest of the Africans had to be doing something around that time. A lot of people like to think that they were just primitive, and nothing was going on. Now, the ancient Africans had their own practices of what we call magic, of course. And if you go into Home or Benin, you find the cradle of voodoo. Now, of course, TV has scared everybody away from voodoo. made people think that it's devil worship, or these people are evil and they doing something crazy and stuff like that. And we know that people fear what they are too lazy or too scared to take the time to understand. Now, the gods of voodoo are basically nature, the gods of nature. If you watch my Saturn Satan series, then in voodoo they worship Dambella. Now, Dambella is this serpent god. They call it the god of wisdom, light, energy, and balance. We're going to come to Dambella in that series and talk about Dambella. It's one of the times you will see the actual black serpent or black being cast as a serpent. But, you have some of the main gods in voodoo, Mawalisa, and Legba or Papa Legba. Now, Mawalisa represents male and female energies. They personify the sun and the moon. Together, they create the hermaphrodite bisexual god that symbolizes divine energy or divine unity. Now, in voodoo, twins are worshipped. Twins are a big deal. So, I'm a twin. I got a twin sister. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. But, they personify the sun and the moon. So people who really get into voodoo will understand what's going on and how this is really about energy, as we're going to get into. Then you understand the worship of these certain gods. It's just like I tell you in previous videos about how they use things, so when you look at, like Papa Legba and, Mao Lisa and, these physical things that they use to represent spiritual things, it's how they tell the story. As I was saying before, like Horus and Osiris and stuff like that, you got to understand they represent principles. These are not beings that actually exist. They had to make them beings so you can understand what's going on. It's the only way they can explain it. So it's just like Jesus. I can't just tell you, you are this being, you are energy, you can do this. I have to give it to you in a way you can understand. So it's like me telling you a story and using stick figures to tell the story. You got to really wrap your head around this, because if you don't understand this and you start looking at voodoo on the surface and looking at the things that go on, of course, to you, it's going to look weird. It's going to be scary, but you need to understand what this stuff represents and what's really going on. They show this in a certain way and they take it out of context to fool you, to scare you, and you're going to understand why in this video. Then we have Papa Legba. Now, most of you know who Papa Legba is. Everybody knows who Papa Legba is if you study this stuff. You probably seen him in movies a bunch of times and didn't realize who he was. Now, Papa Legba is the guardian of the spiritual gate, or the door to the spiritual world. He guards it. He's the god of the crossroads. Now, every voodoo ritual begins with invoking him and ends by saying goodbye to him. Now, he guards that spiritual pathway. Even if you wanted to communicate with, energies or spirits on the other side, you got to go through Papa Legba first. He is also the messenger, so he can interpret to you what the spiritual world is trying to tell you. Now, it's one thing to, get a message or, try to communicate with the spiritual world. But if you want the spiritual realm to do something for you on this physical plane, Papa Legba always requires a blood sacrifice. Think about that. This is why you see in voodoo, they sacrifice chickens and goats and stuff like that, with the blood, they, wring it out or whatever. And they rip out the tongue and they burn it, and they use the tongue to figure out if the ritual actually worked or hit its mark or not. This is why they do that. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's crazy, but you eat chicken, so be quiet. But this is what they do. When you get into this, as I said, and I'm going to say this because I want you to understand what this stuff, you got to understand what's going on and stop letting TV get in your head and make you think this stuff is some kind of weird, crazy stuff when these people do far more sick things than that. I mean, I think shooting a deer or a buck and cutting out its heart and biting it and drinking its blood is something far more sick, because they do that for nothing, for sport. So think about that. Now, when you see them do these rituals and stuff like that, you got to understand that in voodoo, it's always for, of course, a purpose. And in most cases, I think in almost every case, when they usually consume the entire animal, the goat or the chicken. So now, is this stuff really real? Is voodoo actually doing something? I know a lot of you skeptics would be like, man, it seems crazy. And it's like, what's the purpose? You got to understand, they've been doing this for thousands of years. Think about that. You don't do something and practice it thousands of years if it doesn't work. And a lot of people are just really intrigued about, voodoo, magic, witchcraft, the law of attraction, what have you. And that has to do largely because of, the entertainment industry, movies, music, TV, popular culture, everything that we have been seeing from, Satanists and these voodoo movies and all kinds of witchcraft movies, everything we have been seeing over the decades that deals with these themes. And it has given people the false understanding about what this stuff really is about. Now, we go into the realm of Hollywood, and what, Hollywood has magic and, the whole glitz and glamour and, the special effects or what have you. And people really mix this stuff up with voodoo and witchcraft and magic or what have you. And a lot of people, they stuck with that understanding of it. The whole TV reveal of magic. So, things popping out of thin air and, all of the crazy, powerful things we see these wizards and witches doing in movies. This is the understanding that people come away with when they look at this stuff. And it's a false understanding. So when people want to get into what this stuff really is about, a lot of them have this idea that when you get into it, you're going to somehow find true, real magic like on TV. A lot of people believe that once they really get an understanding of this stuff and they really know about it, that they're going to be able to somehow do real magic. And a lot of people are delusional. So you have to just, take into consideration one, if it really was like on television, as far as, voodoo and magic and what have you, by now you would have seen somebody come forward with amazing powers. I'm talking about like real amazing, like able to keep away armies, militaries with their power. And, that has not happened. You see magicians, you see people like David Blaine, you see people doing these magic shows, like Chris Angel or what have you. And you see them do stuff as far as an entertainment show about magic, and they give you the illusions and everything like that. But for the most part, of course, this stuff is trickery. It's all tricks, smoke and mirrors or what have you. The guy didn't come out with the whole magic reveal, TV show for no reason. He really wanted to show people, hey, this stuff is not what you think it is. But there's a different side of it all that I don't want to get you confused about what I'm saying. That is more powerful, and it deals more with controlling people. That's the secret right there. So everybody got this whole misconception and this whole idea about voodoo and magic and everything as far as, poof, I can make a truck disappear and I can fly or what have you. It's all about controlling people. This is what it's really about. The manipulation of a person's mind, their energy, and what they do, their actions. That's the major thing. That is magic, voodoo, witchcraft in essence. How you manipulate a person's actions, their energy, what they do. And when we finish with this video, you're going to really truly understand this stuff and how it affects us every day. 100%. And it's really deep and it's crazy when you really get into it. So as I talked about before, we look back at, the Africans and all these rituals from the Buddhists and everybody doing so many different things that we classify as weird, spooky, crazy stuff when we look at these rituals or what have you. But we describe, we gave them names. We describe them as many different weird things as far as, rituals and witchcraft or whatever it is. But again, understand that to the ancients, this stuff was natural. It was absolutely natural. And let me repeat that. This stuff was natural, really natural. So we, again, gave it names. But when you go back and you look at what these people were doing, and if we was to, again, ascribe them names, as far as voodoo, witchcraft, and magic, and what have you, we will be talking about energy, frequency, and vibration. Sound. It's just that simple. This is what this stuff entails. This is what it's all about. And when you really get into it and start to look at what the secrets of it is and what these people have figured out thousands of years ago, it's going to make a lot more sense. So now if I ask you to give me a sound at a certain frequency, at a certain rate, or a certain vibratory frequency, then a lot of people would be looking for instruments. They would be looking for machines to try to figure out how I'm going to calculate the frequency and try to get the right hertz to give you, what you want. But again, for the ancients, this stuff was natural. This was natural stuff. This is natural law. And when you understand what we're talking about when we say natural law, nature, everything in nature is dealing with energy, vibration, frequency, sound. All of this stuff is mathematics. Everything. And we talked about this before with the Fibonacci sequence, how we can find it in nature and everything, how we can find it in the human body. So again, when you start getting into this stuff, remember we talked about this, it's all math. It's all energy, frequency, and vibration. That's all it is. So while we have lost the understanding of this, and the ancients clearly had it, we have to go through so much to learn, to relearn, and really understand this stuff. But to them, this was second nature. It was just normal to them, and it's stuff that they did to actually reach the required frequency, pitch, sound, vibration to obtain, the right level that they needed to perform rituals, to get things to where they needed to be. Absolutely natural to these people. Still to this day, they perform this stuff naturally, understanding how to do so. So when you look at everything in existence, every human entity, everything that is, everything has a vibratory frequency. Everything. Everything has a vibratory frequency.
Time to help people
Yeah, you can
customize
stop right there.
Liberty Mutual.
Yeah, people feel free to go on Real Merkaba's channel, and I mean this brother has a lot of good lectures and whatnot that go back years. I mean he's been doing this for a long time now, and honestly I could have only come across a brother like Merk if I raised up my own frequency and vibration. You know what I mean? I mean it's like, yeah, those who you're supposed to come across, you can only ever access them because think about it. Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, they were always there. But bro, it's only when I allowed myself to go to the next level, when I had to access new realms, that's when these brethren became available to me. Because I could tell you, in a like prior to COVID and all that stuff, I was not watching any of these brethren sharing this kind of stuff back then for sure. And it just is a testament to how much I have grown individually, as yeah, how I have personally grown. But like, we still ain't there yet, my brother. We still ain't there yet. But yeah, as we go into the next video, please just share in absolute layman's dummy terms, bro, like what it was that Merc just shared with us right there, bro, because it's all of our spiritual sciences that we really need to get back into for real. The cracker can be scared about of our own sciences because guess what? He can't even reach the highest levels simply because he's not made for that. Because if he were made for that, then yeah, he would have already freaking I guess he would have transcended the human animal realm when you really stop and think about it. But either way, when you heard of spontaneous combustion, like people catching in flames and whatnot, it's really only look who it is that spontaneously combust into flames. It's really only so-called white people. It's just like when you go on Google and do a search on people with tails. Look to see who it is that you're gonna be finding on those pictures. Ain't no niggas. I could be telling you that for a fact. But either way, I ain't here to continue to shit on other people. It's just that, yeah, you got to start to see things for what they truly are. And, bro, just break it down to the people what it is that they need to become aware of.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because it's like a lot of people just have animal DNA, like even creating these physical bodies. It's like they definitely had to use animal DNA to create these physical bodies. So, of course, most of the animal DNA went to, the Caucasian people, and that's why they always have tails and look like animals and everything like that, because at this point they probably came from animals. You get what I'm saying? So, as we continue to experience new things, once we'll experience new things once we're ready to receive them. So like when we wasn't on this spiritual journey, we didn't like came across like Bottle Panic and all these other people. But when we were ready to do so, that's when they showed up on our timeline and everything like that. So continue to elevate, continue to grow, and then you'll attract the people who can help you go to the next level.
I mean, most definitely. I mean, seriously, like even you, my brother, even you, because as esoteric teachings show us, your mind is the only thing that exists. And if your mind is the only thing that exists, that means you create, attract, and magnetize those that you are supposed to experience for your own, for your own, how could I say? I won't say gratification, but I will say for your own moving forward, because everything should be a spiral moving up. Because in life, you never really stay one place. It's either you're spiraling up or you're spiraling down. Because if you're stuck in a circle, you're not going to go anywhere. But hey, bro, it just is what it is. Any last words before we get into this Brother Panic video?
The last thing I'll say is that's why they always depict like so-called life as like being the rat race, because it's just going all this, or just like a hamster wheel, because you just keep going in circles, keep experiencing the same experiences and the same cycles and everything like that. So it's like, but once you realize, okay, let me break out of this circle and experience this like this spiral, then that's when you can be like, okay, those highs and lows, let me like try to elevate so I can keep going up and whatnot.
For real, my brother. I mean, straight up. Let's just get into the video and let Brother Panic share a little bit of the good stuff. For real.
Teachers emerged starting from Dr. Ben. You understand? Brother Youssef. These teachers emerge starting from Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and the rest of these teachers. So what Dr. Clark told me directly through Spiritual Channel, Ashe, this was in 2008, that he is an Akashic master. What we would equate that to on Earth is a librarian. He keeps these records in order. He's one of the many. And some of their missions are to come down to Earth and document. So once our true history is given back to us, which these history gentlemen did, these people emerged after the trigger of the history, because that shift going into the information age, the age of Aquarius, that we were on top of. What did the white man do to take control of the age of Aquarius? He gave you the internet, information. He knew the information age was coming. We were coming out of the age of Pisces, which was the age of belief. So in the age of belief, he made you the ultimate believer. So anyone who's still a believer is not stupid for just believing in that stupidity. They're stupid in this internet age for holding on to that stupidity. I also seen a lot of religious people lose their religion based upon the internet. So if you still singing to Jesus, in the fucking information age, where you can pick up your phone and find out anything, you're gonna die. That's the story of Moses coming off the mountain and they're making the golden calf. They were moving into the age of Aries. That's why Moses would go on the mountain and blow that horn. Remember, these are not real people. This is allegory, mythology, and cosmic motherfucking detail. But when he came and seen the golden calf, those are the hard-headed niggas that want to still live in the age of Taurus. Want to live in the age of Taurus. So he said, you will die with that because you are not in the times. We at least know we in the information age, the internet, and niggas went ape shit crazy on this conscious lecture circuit. They went ape shit on this conscious circuit. So we know we in the information age. So anybody holding on to Jesus is you can look at they just set themselves up to come back. They're not even who you should commune with at this point. You're dealing with light beings, and you should not argue with light beings, because if you're arguing with a light being, it means whatever they did, they gained light. Therefore, leave them the fuck alone. Don't tell them your light is shinier. They should see your shine and ask you, what did you do to get such golden hair, young lady? But if they're doing what they're doing and they feel their light is the light, leave them the fuck alone. That's why this arguing shit is for the fucking birds. And don't fall into it. It's nothing. It's a human activity. It's a human activity. If you are in your downtime and being your human, go watch it and laugh at the monkeyism that you see. At the sheer chimpanzee chest beating ignorance that is displayed in this Jerry Springer motherfucking rendition of niggerometry.
I mean, what much more can I say, my brother? I mean, Brother Panic, he's just, well, for me personally, he is certainly reminding me of just why getting into arguments is really just for the sake of getting into arguments, especially for an individual who is into this occult stuff and looks to continue to grow and just get the fuck up out of this bullshit realm, to be honest, because, bro, people who are looking to stay with those old energies, that old way of thinking, like, remember, yeah, when you look back in mythology, once you start that path of moving forward, bro, the bridge behind you will collapse, and behind of you will be nothing but a great dark abyss, to which, yeah, there's nothing for you to go back to. I mean, you already shared perfectly in the recent past, bro. When the past calls, don't answer. Don't pick up and answer, because it has nothing new to say. And forget about the future. That motherfucker literally doesn't even exist. So, yeah, as we get into the next video, bro, please share what it is that, yeah, basically just break down what it is that the Ascended Master, Brother Panic, just mentioned, just shared with us and whatnot. Because, bro, people need to get out of the spiritual kindergarten level, straight up. Forget elementary school, forget high school. Forget fucking college and university. I don't even know what it is that these universities are teaching. Anyway, they have the word universe in it, which means all that exists and whatnot. But they're literally teaching some bullshit that literally only has to do with a hamster wheel system and that kind of shit. Like, either way, I don't need to get into all of that, bro. But yeah, just let the people know what it is, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like, at this point, it's just like no point of arguing with anyone, no point of just like, sometimes it's just better to not be curious and just better not to raise up. A lot of people just having like triggers and whatnot. But I did see like this, they had like a billionaire all white house party. Then I remember some like so-called celebrities who went, and was like curious and started opening up like doors and whatnot, they saw some like weird stuff. And so like sometimes it's just better to not be curious in that situation. But besides that, it's just better to not argue with people because their belief systems, obviously, they're gonna continue to follow their belief systems, and you're the one who's breaking these belief systems, so it's gonna always gonna clash either way.
I mean, straight up, my brother, straight up. And yeah, all we have to do is continue to move forward because we're never there. We can never know everything there is to know about everything. But the fact that you're hungry to really want to get into the things that you should be getting into, indeed, may more doors open so that, yeah, we could definitely cultivate ourselves to such a high point where, yeah, we could literally leave this freaking physical realm whenever we so choose, for real, my brother. Because remember, even in the case of suicide, people don't so-called experience hell because of the suicide itself. They experience hell because their mind was already in a fucked up place while committing the act. Because like Brother Panic himself best put it, if you were to literally commit suicide with such a high vibration, literally you take that gun and say, man, fuck all of y'all stupid motherfuckers and this shit. I'm literally out of here. I'm going to my heaven. Bye, bitches. Blow. Straight up, bro. There's absolutely no way you could experience a low experience because you already created a greater experience for yourself after this fucking physical body hits the ground. I mean, hey, if people cannot see this stuff for what it is, then I at least urge them to watch videos of lectures of all these great teachers and whatnot who do a better job explaining it than we can. Because, bro, because we've had several lifetimes of experiences within this motherfucker, all of this literally just has to come off as a reconfirmation of things that you already know thanks to your universal blood, your energies, your Akashic libraries, records, and all of that stuff. This is stuff that whenever you hear brethren like Brother Panic, Bobby Hemmett, Yafa Bey, Dr. Jewel Pukram, Dr. Phil Valentine, etc., this should all be a reconfirmation of stuff that you already know, but because of the system, because of this current lifetime and the system and whatnot, this is stuff that you forgot, buried deep within your deepest mind regions. But rejoice because all of that is literally coming into light. So let's get into it, bro.
Was split on the making of man. One part of heaven went this way, the other part remained with the people who made it. Why? The story goes, and they're going to tell you this. Venus and Lucifer are there. That's right. The person who against Lucifer telling the damn story.
How are you?
Yes, man. What about our man? What happened was this. When man was made out of the Titan's blood and the titanium dust, Prometheus was a leftover Titan, or Lucifer in the Christian mythology was a leftover chaos being, the mother and the father, or what you now call chthonic being, which is earth dwelling. He said, hey, the God said, bow down to man. He said, hey, I ain't bowing down to man. I don't like the fact that white boys didn't write the Iliad and Odyssey and all them things. Hesiod's Greek Mythos Company, just look on the back, you'll see Mythos. The Mythos Company put out by Princeton University. Now it's interesting that Prometheus in there is identically parallel to Jesus Christ. But Prometheus is Satan, or Lucifer. And the Jesus Christ story of being staked to a cross is the damn original Prometheus story. Jesus was staked to a cross. After Prometheus rebelled against God and stole heaven from God, which is stole the actual life from God, which is the Kundalini energy, and put it in man, he was staked to a pole in Mount Tartarus. On the mountain in Tartarus. Jesus was staked to a cross. Jesus had a spear to stab him in the side, based on the mythology. Prometheus had a doggone hawk to eat out his liver. Yeah. Same story. But Prometheus is the original Lucifer. So Satan died to save you all. He rebelled against God, not Jesus. They had taken these mythologies and every so many thousands of years they would weave together an older mythology to fit a certain political agenda they were doing. You got the most fucked up one they got with Christianity bullshit. Satan died to save you all. He the motherfucker sacrificed Samuel. That's the serpent in the Garden of Eden, Samuel, which is Prometheus, which is all a form of Set Titan. Soot, the black one. Soot Nessie, Soot Newton. You see? He died to save us all. You get this stuff? You gotta turn this shit all around. You gotta turn this shit all around. You can't be thinking holy. Holy is a political invention. Hate is good. Hate is love, goddammit. Think about it. Ooh. Don't you hate injustice? Yeah. Don't you hate oppression? Yeah. That's love, goddammit, ain't it? Yeah. You hate it because you love something else. Think about this bullshit, this goddamn religion giving you about love. Hate is the ultimate essence of alchemy. When you hate something, it's clear, cut through. Hate is love. Fucking Eddie Murphy told you the shit now. Vampire in Brooklyn. Evil is good. You thinking that's some bullshit, but your mind just, you gotta get to a certain level to understand what this whole thing is. Do what you feel. That shit is contradiction. You hooking some cracker that done killed your babies and stomp your baby head in the damn ground. Martin Luther King bullshit. Why they pump that? It's war. Let's go on. Y'all all right? It's war. The beings, the true beings, which is black people, have been fooled into always giving the robots or the white man the benefit of the doubt. Not being evil, the true beings do not automatically think evil of the others or the robots, and hence they are vulnerable to all sorts of exploitations and manipulations of the damn robots. You see what I'm saying? That these particular robots and these manipulations, they use them so well. The true beings are, by definition, believe in goodness and divine love for all. They are taught peace by the evil religions on this plane into a position of accepting all filth that is thrown at them. They are trampled on at every turn. Only when they awaken, they will see the traps. The directives of which all evil ones take no notice. From the evil essence the evil Demiurge, which is the doggone people that's trying to keep us down here, who knew that if they could convince and brainwash the true beings with it, it would make them forget that they were in the midst of a war. Their resistance to him and his evil minions would be lessened. And this is exactly what had happened. You see what had happened? This is actually war. Now, let's go on so you can try to understand a couple of things right now on what's really going on. Anyway, Prometheus is stayed to a mountain in Tartarus, which is the subconscious of mental, which is he becomes the pineal gland, Lucifer in other mythology. But he brings light because he stole light. He stole light and gave it to man. That's it. He gave it to man. That's the Kundalini energy. This is Prometheus up here, the pineal gland, but the light comes down here and goes up. And this is the so-called cross also of the staking. So he was staked to a cross. Anytime something is staked to something, it's literally talking about the physical body, first of all. This is the cross. When they tell you to bury your cross, it's the physical body. Now, let's get into some other science so you can understand some things right now. And I want to deal with this particular part right now. So the whole, remember in the movie Fallen, comes Azazel. Now the Azazel mythology is the same Prometheus one. What did Azazel do wrong? In another mythology in the book of Enoch, Azazel, seeing that man was in a wretched state, he taught man all the mysteries and the science of reading, writing, arithmetic, the science of the cosmos, the universe, astronomy, astrology, and all civilization. As a result, the higher gods up there got mad at Azazel and his crew, because they know through these particular magical arts of civilization and education, these people could ultimately learn more about themselves and raise themselves up.
Whoa, man. I'm telling you, it was only like what 10 minutes or something like that, but and that was only a not even a good fraction of the lecture, but man, Bobby really dropped bombs on that one. Lucifer is who died in order to save you from your so-called sins. And sin, as Bobby explained in previous lectures, is literally just a derivative from the word skin, which literally means the physical body. Sin only has to do with the physical body. And guess what? Nothing you do in this physical realm has anything to do with your true being. Because why would I be playing CJ? Me playing CJ in GTA. Why would the police actually come to fucking arrest me based off of what I did playing as CJ in freaking GTA? Shit. They might as well put everyone who played fucking GTA in prison. You know what I mean, bro? I mean, like, geez. And to begin with, when we go back to the 42 laws of Mayat in ancient Egyptian teachings and whatnot, I have not done this, I have not done that, bro. That is literally the confessions of your soul, your true being, confessing that it never did these things. And truly it never did, because it never had a physical experience. You're only viewing this physical realm from the perspective of literally having that simulation type of experience within a physical body, but nothing you do in this realm has any effect on who you truly are as a multi-dimensional cosmic being. Imagine a freaking amoeba, an amoeba literally having an effect on some grand cosmic body or something along those lines. It's just completely stupid. But either way, yeah, as Eddie Murphy himself said in Vampire in Brooklyn, evil is good, because without evil, what is good? And without good, what is evil? Straight up. So you're talking about polarity and rhythm again. So yeah, with these religions and whatnot, think about it. I love my true self, but I hate this fucking physical body. I mean, it's all just polarity and rhythm again. It can't be one, or it can't be, you can't serve two masters at the same time. Either you love the physical and you completely shun the spiritual, or you love the spiritual and you don't give a shit about the physical. And me, that's the path I'm currently going on right now, because I don't see this physical world to be anything special whatsoever, my brother. The story of Lucifer is literally the story of us having fallen from glory, having quote unquote sold our souls so that we could have this bullshit physical experience. Either way, Brandon, I've spoken way too goddamn much, bro. Break it down to the people and let them know what it is. Let them know what time it is.
Yo, you and your true self just said practically everything right there. No cap.
Bro, yo, we got to literally let the people know, my brother. This ain't a celebrity contest. This ain't a fucking fame contest. This ain't about clout, or we're not even making fiat currency off of this, my brother. We're not getting gold or silver or anything. We're just putting it all out there so that we literally did the work. We can say whatever the fuck we want because we're doing the work. And we've already done the work. We put out so much lives already. Like, indeed, big shout out to you, my brother. Like, for real. Put it out on different platforms and whatnot so that people can get access to them on various different platforms and all that good stuff. But I mean to say, bro, like, just let the people know. Like, it's time to get out of spiritual kindergarten. Time to literally get into the PhD level of this shit because, bro, there's so much. Like, just look at it from this simple perspective. There's an entire fucking multiverse out there, or omniverse, whatever you want to call it, and you're only focused on this goddamn physical realm? This one fucking place? That's not even a speck of dust compared to every other thing that actually exists? I mean, Brandon, what much more can I say?
Yeah, straight up. Like everyone thinks it was all like love and light and everything like that, but if you're gonna keep allowing vampiric, egotistical vampires to keep sucking your energy, and at this point, you shouldn't be just, oh yeah, let me brush it off and love and light and whatnot. Like you have to use your spiritual like warrior side and like start to take people out and stuff
Literally
like
chop
that.
exactly, start to chop heads off, my brother, because literally, if we're talking about this, the destruction of this realm, guess what? Everything that's on this realm got to be destroyed as well. And guess what? All you're doing is destroying their fucking physical body, so you're actually doing them a favor. There's no entity in this realm. Literally has no reason to even exist. Like, do like angry video game nerd at the end of many of his freaking videos. Take the freaking game itself and freaking destroy it. I mean, bro, I mean, seriously, if it's so garbage, fucking destroy it. Straight up.
And straight up, like a lot of people think with like these rabbit holes and whatnot, like they just like tiptoe in it, but like they don't even know how deep it really goes. Like a lot of people just are in the kiddie pool when they got the whole like deep end on the other side that's available for them to, experience and go into, but they just stay at that kiddie pool stage.
Man, bro, I'm telling you, especially like compared to when we did our first live, and compared to yeah, when we just first like came across each other's path, we came into each other's path and whatnot. I look at how much we've grown personally, and bro, imagine we haven't even scratched the surface. We haven't even scratched the surface. Like, it's only the tip of the iceberg, my brother. We haven't even really reached the more we haven't even reached the body. We haven't even reached I'm not talking about the lower end of it. I'm talking about just when you go lower onto the body of it. We haven't even reached as far as we should be, my brother. So imagine how far we could literally go when it comes to literally discovering as much as we can about what you want to consider reality and whatnot. But like what Bobby said, if you love something, you definitely have something else that you hate. And I say it's definitely this fucking physical realm, as well as the bullshit motherfuckers who literally exist in this realm. It's literally time to start taking shit out in order for us to make way. I mean, think about it. The old world has to be destroyed in order for the new world to fully manifest, right? You can't build the new on a bullshit old foundation. It is what it is. I mean, hey, feel free to disagree all you want, but that's just common sense right there.
Yeah, that's straight facts right there. No cap.
Yeah, so the next video, who is it exactly we're talking about here now, bro?
Oh yeah, Below Panic, Karma is the new devil.
Drop it on them, brother. Drop it on them because too much of fucking even people who are not religious be getting into this shit about karma this and karma that. Brother Panic, lay it out for us, my brother. Brandon, thank you very much. Let's go.
Okay.
Seeking to free themselves. Those out there who want to be scholars of shit that was written thousands of years ago, knock yourself out. I'm talking to the people who are looking for understanding on how to break away the chains of the problem you have called humanity. And the three things we're going to talk about is numbers, zodiac, and karma. All of these things are your prison cell or don't even exist. So while we're saying, oh, you got your ass kicked because of karma and karma this and that, no. That's a fantasy. Karma is something you choose to buy into. This was a system before there was religions of how to keep people right on the on the right track, or to let them know that they're doing something bad. For instance, karma means cause and effect. Cause and effect is neutral. And your definition of good or bad is your very own. Your very own. So just by that alone, karma couldn't be real, because what may be good to you may be bad to me. So if I do a deed and somehow you go, oh, you're gonna have bad karma. But what if in my mind what I'm doing is good? You get what I'm saying? How do I get bad karma? Because you say so? Not to mention, if you're supposed to be all God and goddess, who's the person that's sitting over karma who tells you you got to pay? You get what I'm saying? If you're supposed to be God or goddess, let's pretend this karma thing is just, you're supposed to be sitting over the shit to say, fuck karma, I'm God, I invented it. So if you want to get more specific, cause and effect is just action, reaction. Action, reaction. So in other words, you'll say, well, live by the gun, die by the gun. That's some karma shit. It really has nothing to do with good or evil. But that's actually more the laws of attraction, and the laws of attraction is not a law. That's a theory of a law still under the original law of cause and effect, by which you can find in the Wisdom of Tahuti or the Kabbalion. One of those laws is called cause and effect. So in other words, the laws of attraction is a sub-law, karma is a sub-law, and karma is something you choose to buy into because that's based upon interpretation of good and evil. So that's something you choose to buy into. Say, well, I could go after 7 lifetimes because I did this. That's just a surefire way for you to go. But the real deal, God and goddess, you can leave tomorrow if you so choose. Just like Dorothy, all you had to do was click your heels, and your ass could have been home immediately. Karma is a system. So this karma's coming to you, and karma's going to have that. That has nothing to do with anything. For someone who's trying to show all this karmic debt and karma means this and this, that, the other, knock yourself silly. I'm saying this message for those who want to skip a few classes of bullshit until you realize, wait a minute, this karma shit ain't real. And to rub that in, the last note of that bullshit is quite simply this. Ain't shit happening to the white man right now. You get what I'm saying? Right now. Ain't nothing happening. You get what I'm saying? Because he knows that shit isn't real. I'll do you one better. There was a TV show called My Name is Earl. And Earl was a fuck up. Came on TBS. Funny show. Earl was a fuck up. Earl gets a lottery ticket, gets hit by a car, then starts getting into this karma shit. He makes this list to right the wrongs that he's done in the past. One episode, as Earl is explaining the standard understanding that most people have of karma. You do something bad's coming. You get what I'm saying? Some chick came and said, you know that's not what karma means, right? And gave the straight up textbook definition of karma. It ain't got nothing to do with you did that, then that's coming. Broke all this shit down to show you there is a difference. Most of the public, because you were scared in church with the devil and the rest of something. If you do that, something's bad coming. Now that you so-called conscious, we calling this karma now. Karma is the new devil. You get what I'm saying? It's the new devil.
Right.
So somebody who wants to slip past class, understand, do as that thou will. That's the book of the law. You get what I'm saying? Given to Aleister Crowley by Horus of the new Aeon. Do as thou will. These things, what should guide you is your consciousness. If you're conscious, you should know what to do in terms of the balance for you or the mayat for you, whatever you want to call it. Karma itself doesn't exist. We have to stop bringing this up and trying to put this on people because it's now just this moral goddamn police thing.
I mean, bro, I don't see what much more I could possibly add to it because Panic himself literally laid it all out. Like, think about it. The cracker had to come in, literally turn this into some military police governing prison system. And guess what? All of these lower level coon ass niggas had to literally take up his system so that we ourselves could remain in some kind of a fucking prison. And think about it, based off of everything I just said right there, it's all a mind thing, my brother. This world definitely need not be a prison if we were to literally get into a higher state of consciousness to do it. But guess what? Brother Panic did us even better with the whole Wizard of Oz. I urge everybody to go back and watch that movie. A very spiritual movie, The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, with Dorothy, the main character, she realized she could have literally left that whole scenario much earlier. Yeah, of course, for the sake of the movie, she had to go on the adventure and whatnot. But I mean to say, much like us in this physical realm, we could literally like leave this piece of shit tomorrow if we so do the work and literally ensure that yeah, we overcome, we just move beyond this physical realm. You know what I mean? So the way I see it, for real, we only keep coming back into this physical realm because we choose to. And it really does make sense because if this realm really is so beneath us, why do we still choose to continue to come back here? Is it because of our bloodkin? Is it because of our children? Is it because of our like husbands, wives, and like what is it because of these individuals? And are they really at the point where they are really worth you having to sacrifice your true self to even come back here? I just went into something really deep right there, but we just gotta keep it moving, my brother, because yo, I mean, like, there really is no reason for us to keep coming back into this fucking world. I mean, like you and I, for example, bro, like we should totally be over this. Fuck this world. But I mean, either way, yeah, just break it down. Just let the people know what it is in layman's and dummy terms, my brother, because like, yeah, karma is the new devil, and yeah, even non-religious people still are tainted and soiled with this whole Christian paradigm, which people don't realize, yeah, it really affects even those who aren't religious, but like it really just goes to show you that there's just so much cleansing and purifying that we have to do within ourselves. But hey, bro, as we get into the next video, just let the people know what time it is.
Oh yeah, what you just said was straight deep and straight facts right there. No cap with you, like for real.
Like, bro, yeah, we just gotta do what we gotta do at this point, my brother. For real. Fuck this world. Straight up.
Yeah,
And fuck the
straight.
beings in this world too. They need to get wiped the fuck out. The majority of these fucks. Fuck up. Fuck y'all. Fucking parasitic, vampiric, narcissistic shits. Like literally leave this fucking world. A lot of y'all shouldn't even be here right now.
Yeah, straight up. Like with like action reaction, it's all like a mindset. So if you do something and you stay in that high vibration, then it has no effect on you. Especially like how Brother Panic was saying, like nothing is really happening to these beasts and everything like that. Of course, we always say
For
like,
real. Like, easily one of the worst fucking things that exists on in this world. And Karma didn't fix his monkey ass already. So that should already fucking tell you Karma is just a created religious piece of dog shit. Continue, my brother.
oh yeah, like karma, these like numerologies, zodiacs, synchronicities, even like these full moons, retrogrades, planetary alignments, the law of
Fuck
attraction,
all of that.
and all
It's
this,
literally part of the
all
system.
this.
It's literally all part of the same goddamn system. We created all this shit. So why the fuck must we be subjected to the stuff that we created just to have a physical experience? Man, you gotta get tired of this shit and move way beyond this shit for real.
Yeah, straight up for real on that one. But let me go to the next one.
Yeah, anything more you wanted to add, especially pertaining to the women, and how the women themselves should really get back to their true self, to their true power, really create that love for self. They should get back to that love for self so that they could eventually all come together and put an end to this stupid shit for real, because women have that power. This is a fucking feminine realm, for fuck's sake. Women have that power. All they need to do is tell the men, y'all go fuck yourselves. We ain't doing a damn thing for y'all. Y'all need to really realize just how much you fucked up. We don't want to have a damn thing to do with y'all. Fuck this system. Yeah, we're putting an end to this shit. Like, let the people know what it is, my brother.
Yeah, for the women out there, they just have to really like elevate their minds and not really follow these men, because at this point the men are leading people astray anyway, so they're just gonna lead you astray. And I get what like females are saying, like, oh yeah, I want a man I can be submissive to and all this other stuff, but at this point you gotta realize all these men out here are really not leading people the right way. Like, sure, they got, monetary possessions. Okay, like, let's be honest, most women, they really only go for like status and fame and all these people, because like those, I saw this like one thing, it said like an average looking guy can just like walk down the street, right, and then get no attention or anything like that. But then a like a so-called ugly old person who might be like famous and have status and attention and everything like that, he can still attract even more than that average looking person. So it really doesn't matter. And like for like the women, they just have to like elevate their minds, because they can really end this whole system together. But they just continue to follow the man and whatnot. They want the man to be the leader and whatnot, but this is their realm, so they should be the ones to be really in charge and whatnot.
You're damn fucking right about that. But guess what, bro? It's all gonna happen any fucking way, because all of this is just a delay. As the great Sister Myra Ross herself said, think about it. This entire system is only still happening, or it appears to still be happening, because we allow it. There's absolutely no reason for this realm to continue. There's no reason for this system to continue if all of us simply came together and said, to hell with all of y'all. Fuck the banks, fuck the schools, fuck the jobs, fuck the factories, fuck the companies, fuck all of y'all. We're unsubscribed. Bye, bitches. Bro, there is no fucking way you can tell me that this system could possibly continue. Ain't no way. But hey, if people want to argue about it, hey, they can go on and argue to themselves in the freaking mirror or whatever, because, bro, we got to just keep it moving forward.
Yeah, facts. Keep moving forward and wake up like the few elects at this point.
No, yeah, for real, straight up. Like, just put an end to this bullshit already.
Facts. Anything else you wanted to say before we get into
Bro, what could I possibly say that we haven't already said? What could I possibly say at this point that we haven't already said? Even in past lives. For real, my brother. We just gotta keep it moving, bro.
facts? Let me play this one.
This world family, those who return and those who only live once. Us among the melanated, we are those that return. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. That is why when you look at the naming ceremony, especially among the Agikoyo, like I am Mumbi, my Shosho was Mumbi, my Shosho was Mumbi. And we know that we are connected to the very first Mumbi that ever lived, which tells you that we come back. Mumbi is always here. That's why you've heard some people, especially if you're from the African families, talk about how so and so reminds them of some guy who, some uncle or some brother or some relative or some ancient one, because we are returning beings. But those that currently rule the world right now, family, they only live once, which is why we are seeing them totally destroy the world. Which is why we are seeing them have so much hatred and envy and jealousy for us and our lands, because this is it for them. There's a research that came out recently that said over 50% of the world right now does not have an inner voice. If you lack an inner voice, then you are literally what they call an NPC. Look that up, NPC. Like it's literally like you have no soul. And so we must awaken to the fact that there are two types of beings existing here. We are the returning ones. And right now, many have returned for such a time as this, family. There have been previous seasons when those that return were overcome, but by those that only live once and are governed by very few that return, which is why they're always looking for immortality, which is why they're always looking for life extension. And because they know that we are the returning ones, they have used their astrology, their mastery, their wizardry to try and detect when particular returning ones were coming, when the messiahs of this age were coming. Because there have been many messiahs, there have been many saviors who have come and rewritten the script. There have been many master builders, many master beings who could not be killed, who had the power of resurrection, who had the power to heal, who had the power to restore, who had the power to give life. And those returning ones are back again, which is why the warfare of those that only live once has been so intense in this season and so directed at the children, because they knew that the returning ones were coming back. It was their cycle, and they already know the prophecies. But somehow, because they are not able to live more than once, they cannot possibly imagine what we have lived many times. But it is time for the returning ones to also return as a collective to the great central sun, to the cycle of life, and depart from the cycle of death. We have learnt many valuable lessons from that ancient spirit of death. We have learnt many things about our humanity, about our powers, about our godhood. And we are grateful to the cycle of death for all that, for refining us, for helping us to elevate in so many ways. But now it is time for us to return to the cycle of life, or what they call the golden ages. It is here, it is come, it cannot be changed, it cannot be diverted. Welcome to the new dispensation.
Honestly, it's only a couple of things I would like to add to that, bro. I mean, Mumi does a really good job breaking it all down, I guess, in layman's terms as best as she could. But even when you go back in the Gnostic scriptures, it shows you that there are three kinds of beings: the spiritual beings, the psychic beings who are between spiritual and physical, and you have the purely physical beings, aka those beings who literally only exist in this physical realm. Because remember, when they say stuff, no, when they say stuff like uh yeah, the human spirit and this and that, the human spirit ain't shit. In fact, the human spirit is exactly what you should be going against, because the human spirit represents that lower animal ego level. Think about it. if you're a multidimensional eternal being, why do you even care about anything that goes on in this realm to begin with? Because if none of this is real, right? Because if none of this is real, then yeah, again, go back to the 42 laws of Mayat and whatnot. Like, it's your soul that truly did not do all of these things. But I should stop saying your soul because we are soul beings, my brother. We are sons. That's what Aleister Crowley mentioned in his book. Liber Alvel Lig is the book of the law. Every man and every woman is a star. We are literally stars, and the sun, as we learned in freaking elementary school, the sun itself is a star. So we are sons, SUNS. We are sons of God. We are stars, and each star is different. So yeah, I should not be able to take your shine away from you because you have your own shine. You have your own orbit. You know what I mean? It's just that, yeah. But then again, also something Mumbi mentioned about, yeah, that's why we see them destroying the world. That's actually a good thing because think about it. If this world was so special, these beings could not have existed on it. These beings could not have existed in the world simply because the world would have been too high vibrational for beings like this to even exist on it to begin with. So it's actually a good thing that this world is getting fucking destroyed. Fuck this world. These beings themselves must be destroyed. But you get what it is I'm saying, my brother. People who cannot see it, yeah, they really need to get a grander perspective of what's going on. But yeah, we are moving into a new dispensation, into a new age. Bro, the old world has to be destroyed. The old world has to go. And yeah, as we're looking to wrap this up, we're getting into the last video, I think with Bobby Hemmett. Uh, yeah, just let the people know what it is that's going on, my brother, because it's about time that all of this, it's about time that we get out of that damn sleep so that the great old ones could literally take this shit back to destroy it and move on to something greater. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel that like will atoning ones, and don't even get me started with NPCs and these background crisis actors and actresses. We definitely already talked about it in past live, but I didn't
Bro,
even
I
know
mentioned
that.
it at the beginning of this freaking life. I mentioned it at the beginning of this freaking life. Background characters, straight up. You could put mannequins in their place and you still have the same story.
Yeah, definitely. Like I didn't even know that was Dr. Moby until like she was started talking to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was what was it? What was it? TikTok or something? She she
Oh
she she had a beauty filter on, like, yeah, or something along those lines. But it's Mumbi.
yeah, but that's why they always say YOLO, because this is really the only life. And then people look at these royal families as like being like royal and whatnot, but with the real
Fake royalty.
royalty,
Fake royalty. Fake royalty. But guess what? They can have the spotlight because we don't need the spotlight. We just do what it is we got to do for ourselves to ensure that all I got to say is, bro, may this world come to an end. May this world come to an end. Yes, may all of the natural disasters literally go times 10 or whatever because, bro, this world has to come to an end. It's the end of the old cycle. Bring on the new fucking world. Straight up. I mean, I don't want to continue to experience the physical much longer. But I mean to say, you get what it is I'm saying, my brother. It has to come to an end.
facts, facts. Let me play the video.
Ashe, to all ancestors known and unknown, Ashe. Like I said the last time, this in actuality is empowering you. The only difference between you and your people is past known is they have shedded the physical body and gotten out of prison, and you are still in prison with the physical body, so that means you're still in death. What you call life is actually death, and what you call death is actually life. It's temporary life for some of those. They live again once they die. You are dead. This is the dead zone. This is hell. The physical realm is called Hayo Hayo Hu Hell. That's the original word for the hell, is the physical body and the physical earth. So energy can never be created or destroyed, just transferred. Where does that energy go? Once it leaves that physical body, it goes into you. So your ancestors actually live inside of you. If we're talking about the same energy field and frequencies, you are nothing but energy. Aspects of a little spark, a sun. You are nothing but this big. You just been fooled into thinking that your physical body is your real body. But in actuality, you are inside of you is a cosmic seed of light. That's all you are, all your thoughts and everything. But there's a veil that you think in actuality that this particular world is reality and this is only the illusionary world. Now, dealing with this particular information, understanding when you pour the libation, if we're talking about nothing but energy, when you call on them, you're actually enhancing the energy within you because they now live inside of you. It's when you die, you go to a certain state. That certain state is inside of your cosmos. The cosmos inside of your mind, inside of your brain, that lives inside of you. We'll go deeper into this for the people that don't understand this concept. So when you pour the libations, you're not only enhancing, you're calling, in ancient Kemet they say to say a dead person's name in actuality is to make them live again. So you're in actuality not only invoking the entities that you think is outside of you, you're actually enhancing the energy that's inside of you, because the only thing it is one energy. And you are part of that same energy. You're just thinking you're different because you're separated by a physical body. That's why they teach everybody in America to be individuals. That already fuck you up. That's how you get fucked up with the individual shit. I'm an individual. My individual freedom. That's selfish. You see what I'm saying? That's selfish. That's why you don't do the people's thing and always doing your thing. And if the people thing is not your thing, you don't want nothing to do with it. You see what I'm saying? But your thing is the people's thing. You see what I'm saying? So it's also to say, well, if your mama, if the white man came to your mama head and say, I'm going to shoot your mama in the head if you don't stop the black talk, you're dead, motherfucker. Because if it's left up to the people, compared to your mama's dead. If they come to your daughter, if it's left up to the people, compared to your daughter, kill her. Ain't nothing, she just living. So in actuality, you're making her live again, because in actuality, you're putting out of her misery. She don't have to sleep. She don't have to eat. She don't have to have a constant search for food anymore. She don't have to have aches and pains and all other kind of crazy messed up psychological, pathological things that accompanies the body. So in actuality, we're talking about total liberation when we deal with this type of information. Also, like I said here, you never should open up any kind of meat without libation. That is your protection. This is better than M16s and stuff like that, because up against the white boy with guns, you damn sure lose, because that's his thing. Don't let nobody fool you. You ain't never been in a fight till you get in a fight with the cracker with that, but that's not our energy. See, there's different energy grids. His energy is to be the devil. So you can't become the devil and fight him as the devil, because that's his nature, that's his energy. So you got to become God. You have magic too. You have energy too, but it's on another level, it's on the spiritual plane. You see what I'm saying? So if you deal with the spiritual realm, you understand you can't lose. He wants you to deal with him on the other realm because you lost that fight. That's a low energy anyway, and your energy cannot put out. That's why you've never been successful in business or any other thing. You wasn't supposed to. I'm sorry to say it, but you wasn't supposed to. Business, success, and all the things that you think of this society, you wasn't supposed to be. Nobody's never told you that before. You're not supposed to be rich. Although we have a few people fall from the grapevine, that's different. So I'm saying the things that you worry about each day that you're supposed to deal with, you don't supposed to be doing those damn things. So once you clear your mind of that, then you can go to another level. You see what I'm saying? Like I said the last time, I'm the only brother that started out middle class on a quest for poverty. So I don't have to worry about that no more. Money ain't my shit. So I don't have to worry about that. So you don't never have to worry about me getting over. You understand what I'm saying? Because I have a detestation for finance. So if a nigga got a detestation for finance and he don't like it, you don't have to worry about that no more. Then you say, well, is this mug real? Is he real? Or is he got a game like everybody else? If I teach you against finances, then we can start on another playing field. That's metaphysics. That's spirit. Oh, don't God say we supposed to be blessed? It depends on what you call being blessed. You see what I'm saying? What you call being blessed is something totally different than what your ancestors thought was being blessed. You see what I'm saying? So don't worry about it, you know? That's our problem. Our manhood and womanhood is measured on how much money we got. Therefore, you gotta always keep the money going. Now, I'm not saying to go out here and get no put on some sandals and a cane and walk out here and with your ass all out, funky and stuff because you don't have no finances. I'm just saying the finances are only supposed to be a utility. That's just to get you from A to Z. You understand where I'm coming from? That means if the cracker give me $1 million, I'm not going to be stupid enough to say I'm not going to take it. But my point is that's not my measurement of life. That's not my measurement of life. You understand what I'm saying? That's not my manhood. And because I don't actually put my energy in that, I don't have to worry about that shit no more. What you spend 98% of the time thinking about is your God. See what I'm saying? Is your God. So we got some other things to free you up. Sisters, you got to rebel against what you call love and romance. That's your vice. That's the cult that you in, and that's why you fail with it. Love and romance is some shit that was invented for the white man because he doesn't have a spirit to feel, so he has to show that he feels by telling. To really love a person is to never tell a person you love them. Try it. Now, my mate, I never tell my mate I love her. You see what I'm saying? A dog don't have to validate being a dog. You don't have to tell your goddamn mama you love her. Or your sister you love her. That's why this shit come out corny. It don't sound right. You understand what I'm saying? But see, people ain't never told you this before. So to tell your woman you love her, that's why a nigga can say what all a nigga gotta do, a hard head, I'm saying. All he gotta do to get over on a woman is master the love thing. I love you. See what I'm saying? It's fake, it's phony, it never existed. So you're looking for love in the wrong damn places, and it has nothing to do with romance. I never tell my mate I love her. And we the best friends at all. We never argue. We haven't argued in over a damn year. Never hardly argue. But I don't tell her I love her. It's a difference. You see what I'm saying? Some things are given. Certain things. So when you cut down on the faking, the energy, your energy automatically knows. You understand what I'm saying? She automatically knows. So if I see her walking down the street with a nigga, a hardhead, I don't get jealous and all because I already know the energy. I know that she's just talking to that particular person as another human being. You understand what I'm saying? So this is some things we're going to get into, to dismantle this mythology of love. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. It's all European shit. They had to teach this devil how to express his feelings. It was a therapeutic thing for him because he's a psychopath. Now you stuck into this shit with Harlequin romance and all, and that's why the sisters is all fucked up in the head. Because the simple fact they can't figure them out. You don't, no nigga don't gonna tell you he love you. You see what I'm saying? And once you become, once you understand what true love is, you don't have this problem anymore. That's what's going on. You see, it's all fake.
Be ourselves, right?
Yeah. Just be yourself. Romance. What's the first word romance come from? Rome. Look like Rome. Now what is the Romans? The Romans are responsible for one thing in history: killing people. That's the only thing they ever did in history is kill mugs. Well, so how can a person that is the mass murderers of world history have the key to your happiness when it comes to your fucking mate? Think about it. How idiotic is flowers? Think about it. You should never doggone feel fine about somebody giving you flowers. That's because you've been programmed. See, they start from a little child. And they program you to accept things. If I program you to like shit, a hunk of shit, by the time you get damn 19, if I gave you a Hershey's bar, gave you a hunk of shit, you'd grab the shit. You go all teary-eyed because I gave you a hunk of shit. See what I'm coming from here? It's just a matter of programming. So what they have done is they have domesticated our women, giving you the easy bake oven and all that old bullshit. And they have domesticated us with the doll babies and all that stuff, so you can't break out of that cycle. You're much more advanced than that. You goddess of the universe. But if you understand the triple goddess, you will see the mother, you will see a celestial god, then you'll see one that just kills. Just straight up kills. And you gotta understand what cycle you're in. The cycle that you're in right now is
Well, Brandon, as we literally wrap this one up, yeah, Bobby just, I mean, yeah, I guess that could explain why a lot of people just aren't successful in finances and whatnot, simply because your true self doesn't even want you to be successful in that, because that's only going to create a more attachment to this freaking realm. And it makes sense for me, especially because, yeah, man, so many freaking ventures and whatnot that I tried to get into financially, and I just fell flat on my frickin' face. But especially looking back, I'm glad it all happened, because the more and more I start to get into spirituality, and I just really start to see everything for what it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't get into any of this shit, because fuck this physical realm, man. It all has to come to an end. And the part with the sisters and whatnot, like so-called doll babies and flowers, I mean, think about it. You literally gave a motherfucker flowers that are literally already dead. You plucked it from its freaking place in the field and whatnot. I mean, like, bro, I mean, like, yo, the things that we continue to do in place of the cracker, simply because it was all done for the cracker himself to feel, at least get a idea of what love is, because he's a psychopath by nature. And the word psychopathy literally comes from the Greek psycho, soul, and pathy, which means, of course, the cracker, it isn't a soul, but you get what it is I'm saying. Pathy, I think, means uh, illness, like separation. So separation from the mind or the soul or anything along those lines. But yeah, deep stuff. Like, do the etymological search of words and whatnot. Like, go back into the etymological roots of words, because, bro, I'm telling you, like, it's all deep. But man, we had a really good one today. I really didn't think this one was gonna be as good. I mean, I guess we say that for all of our lives, but this one in particular, like, yeah, bro, we can only always continue to just move forward, keep ourselves, noble, and just, yeah, make sure your heart is as light as a feather, and just keep it moving, because, bro, there's absolutely no reason for us to continue to live a so-called long life. Any motherfucker who wants to live a long life in this shit, hey, knock yourself out. Not me though. Not me though. I think I'd rather go the Kobe Bryant route, for real. Do as much as I can within a short period and leave this motherfucker. For, like, at least you would remember Andy Labardi having done this kind of work and literally died young, straight up. Fuck Andy Labardi. He ain't worth shit. But I mean to say, you get what it is I'm saying, bro. Yeah, break it down, bro. Thank you very much for another good live, my brother. Like, yeah, we really lit this one up, and yeah, any last words for the people, based off of what Bobby just shared, and yeah, what it is that we got to be doing, and yeah, just let the people know what it is, bro.
Oh yeah, that was yo. Thanks for having coming on too. Like that was definitely was a great live, and we definitely touched on a lot of things that we needed to talk about, even with the death, like what Bobby Hemmick was saying, like everything in this physical plane, like they did. Our true selves doesn't want us to get attached to it, so that's why it's so important to like detach, and disconnect from everything. So when it does, say if it does come in, you won't have like that attachment. You just be acceptive of it, but you're not like when you get to that transition, you won't like be like, oh no, what about my private jet and whatnot? Like you just realize like, okay, this is just temporary, just to help me out in this physical world for the time being and whatnot. So once you have that mindset, then you'll be all set.
I mean, yeah, it just is what it is, and yeah, people simply have to accept the facts, that yeah, we are in a position, we're in a new era right now, a new dispensation, as Dr. Mumbi herself best put it. Yeah, let's definitely bring in the new realm, and yeah, forget the old world. That shit, I mean, really see it for what it is. It really didn't, it hardly benefited us, except to prepare us for this very era that we're moving into right now, and it's definitely stuff to look forward to, my brother. Like I said, I don't want to continue to experience the physical realm much longer, but we just got to do what it is we got to do, and we can say whatever we want because we've done the work and we continue to do the work. I mean, yeah, we could, I mean, who cares if we don't live to see tomorrow? I mean, why would I want to come back into this world knowing that, yeah, I got to look for food, I got to deal with this bullshit system, I got to pay taxes, I got to deal with stupid motherfuckers, I got to work a damn job, I got to do this, I got to do that. Bro, we are multi-dimensional spiritual beings. We are our true self is way beyond this shit. But I mean, bro, just as we're wrapping this up, let the people know what it is, bro. And yeah, let the people know what's been going on in your own personal experience as well.
Oh yeah, that's why we always say, you know, like suicide isn't a bad thing because like who really wants to continue to keep going through like the same joint over and over and over again? So it's like if you do have that chance, then like, you know, do what you need to do. But like at the end of the day, everything is transitioning into that new higher position. And yeah, we're just downhill experiencing it. Like we thought we was gonna be in the movie theater watching this happen, but like now we're in the movie and whatnot. So it's like it's whatever. But like unless we get like an off-grid place and we can just watch it like from far away type joint. But like yeah,
Yes, bro. You're on the point. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. You literally killing it in your own way for real, my brother. For real. Like we should watch this shit from a distance. Like they want to be talking about these horror movies and whatnot, bro. We're in the fucking horror movie. Shit. Now we gotta do just like those characters in the movie Waxwork. We gotta literally get back to that place of knowing that it's all just in our mind. It's only real because we make it real, but in reality it's not real. So yeah, we got to do just like that. By the way, a good movie to watch, 1988, Waxwork. Yeah, from 1988. It's an Anthony Hickox movie. Good movie. David Warner is in that movie. Like good stuff for real. But either way, Brandon, yeah, let the people know what it is that's going on, and yeah, let the people know what's going on.
yeah, I'll definitely post these lives probably just like all this month and just like so it can get out there and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess all the other lives are on their way as well.
I think there's only like 3 more besides this one, so I'll just post these four like throughout this like week or this month, and then we'll be in this.
All right, finally, it's about time. But either way, bro, better late than never. And Brandon, you are highly appreciated. And yeah, everyone, do the work, continue to elevate yourselves, and remember, it's no problem if it ever comes down to having to take yourself out of this world because really, fuck this world. It's just what I will say though. Make sure that you're in a high mind state, a high vibrational state, so that when it does happen, yo, you already know that there's far greater waiting on the other side for you because this is just an experience and not the greatest experience, to say the least.
Oh yeah, for real. Like keep that high vibration, think positively when you're doing so you can make that transition easier because you don't wanna have any way, shape, or form of coming back here. Or just like, oh yeah, I wish I did this or I wish I did that. Like you should just like be completely detached from it. And don't forget to get cremated. Yep. That's
Oh yeah, for real. Like I'm so glad you took it out of my mind for real, my brother. Make sure your physical body gets cremated, best case scenario, so that you know the ego no longer exists. Andy Labardi no longer exists, cremated. Brandon Bass no longer exists, cremated. For real. Why would we want these characters to continue to fucking exist? It's not who we are. We're far greater than this shit. But Brandon, peace as always, my brother, and yeah, everyone, take care and continue to raise yourselves higher and continue to move forward.
oh yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
No, 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 no. It is a pleasure for you hosting this good stuff, my brother. Peace.
Peace out. Yo, make sure you follow, subscribe, like the comment, share. Woo, 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 bang, bang. Let's go.